Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 five-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed
more comfortable in their shapes, mate.
Head of hair. I work directly with my patients with the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, wow, I want them to think, wow. Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we match up the savings with unbeatable offers on our stock sales. Right now, all the way exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisq4.ca. NISQ 4, above expectations.
Hey Canada, Tim's Camp Day is today. That means 100% from every hot or iced coffee purchase is donated to support Canadian youth. Order now in-store or on the Tim's app at participating restaurants in Canada.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisq4.ca. NISQ 4, above expectations.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
I feel so close to you right now. It's a force field.
Jason Gregor Show.
28 pitch. Is in. Sanders right behind him. 2-run single, Cody Bellinger.
On Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just a glimpse of the World Cup final. Well, a wicked Wednesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the lovely province of Alberta at PlayAlberta.ca. So, World Cup semifinal. So far, news-orama. that has been, I think there was one shot on goal combined in the first half. And hey, I get it. There's lots on the line. I'm sure if you're a fan of England or Argentina, you're nervously excited. But as somebody who has no horse in the race today, this has so far been fairly uneventful. Maybe that will change in the second half. Now, speaking of uneventful, not uneventful in Detroit, Steve Yzerman. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's failing up. I'm like, I don't know. He's not the GM. He's an advisor to Illich. They're going to hire someone new. How much impact, how much say is he going to have? I have no idea. I know he's still in the organization. And I will say, shout out to Connor Halley. He basically called this yesterday. He said, now, we thought, I thought he had a year left. I didn't think we had a day left, but Cons, you thought that he would stay on in some capacity. I guess we'll see like what he does as an advisor. Now he has a contract. I think honestly, this as well, you know what? We don't fire him. We don't kind of embarrass one of the franchise greats. We allow him to stay on as advisor. That's how I see it.
Yeah, 100%. I would say kind of the exact same thing. Like, we know Steve Yzerman, one of the greatest Red Wings of all time, such a historic franchise. They have so many greats, but for him to come over here and, I don't want to say it was a total failure. Like, this wasn't you're a lottery team every year. They were kind of right in the mix. It just, he never seemed to make that big move at the deadline to go and get them over the edge and get into the postseason. So he didn't meet the objective, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. For me, it just kind of seemed like the next step. We're not going to embarrass you. We're not going to drag your names through the mud. We're just going to move on from you, and we'll keep you employed. We'll keep you in the organization. We still think you're a good hockey mind, and you have some insight to help building this thing. But let's get someone else to make these final decisions and do it from there on. So yeah, not a surprise. It happening the next day after my prediction was a surprise. I thought he'd have one more year.
Yeah. So, but you were ahead of the times, Cons. You were definitely ahead of the times. So. Now the Red Wings will look, and here's the thing though, like they've got a lot on like significant decisions that have to happen with the new GM. Like this is an interesting decision. Like, why July 15th? Why not June 15th? And Ansar Khan's going to join us because I'm very curious as to like why now. Because here's what Detroit has to do with their new GM. So you have Dylan Larkin, who has asked for a trade, has submitted a short list of 4 teams. You have Alex DeBrincat, who's entering the final year of his deal, as well as Justin Falk, although I don't think that one's going to be a big one. But you also have Simon Edvinsson, who's an RFA, who you need to sign. And there are some people that are thinking somebody might make him an offer sheet. So remember, offer sheets for Broberg and Holloway came in August. So there's some pretty big franchise-altering decisions that need to be made by their GM. And now is it going to be an experienced GM who comes from outside the organization? Is it going to be somebody promoted from within the organization? Sean Horkoff, maybe. We'll see. But I'll tell you, those are some pretty big decisions, man. Like Evanson's a pretty key player of your team. What are you going to lose DeBrincat and Larkin and Kane? Like that could be a real tough go for sure. So touch on that. Josh Lewenberg will join us. The Kawhi Leonard saga continues on. They're doing another investigation. And so allegedly now there might be another endorsement deal that he took money for and didn't do anything for. Like, what the hell's going on here? Right? But guess what? We shouldn't be surprised, guys and gals. There are people will do shady decisions in business. It happens more frequently than you like. I'm sure there's somebody listening who could share a tale of them being part of, somebody being shady. It happens all the time, sadly. So, you think you can get away with it. And away you go. Hey, Greg, did you have a few too many at OTR last night? Sounded rough. You know what? I don't even know what's happened to my voice. Honestly, Connor was there. I think I had like 2 drinks. So, no, not it. I've had like a dry, sore throat, so I'm probably going to have to throw in a lozenge here, but it sounds way worse. Like it doesn't feel really bad. I don't know. It's like it's strained a little bit. So who knows? But am I like Phoebe Buffet right now when she had the cold? Does it sound better or worse? I don't know. It sound like Batman. I'm not sure, but we'll try to get through it, Collins.
Did you do the cayenne and water gargle?
You know what? Honestly, this literally started at like 12 o'clock.
Oh, jeez.
Like I was standing on the sidelines, taking in the sun today. Like that's the one thing that's great about covering the Elks sometimes is you go to practice, you're wearing shorts and sandals. It's unreal. Whereas when you cover the Oilers, you're usually in the rink. Even if it's like September and October and it's nice outside, it's freezing in the rink. So you got to wear a jacket and whatever. Like, I know that's first world problem complaint, but it's just nice when I'm out there. I just seem to get more lively, taking some sun, relaxing. And then all of a sudden I go do some interviews. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with my throat? So I don't even know. No idea. I don't think I'm sick. I don't have any phlegm. Just, I don't know what happened. It's kind of weird. So we'll see. But Collins, the minute I get home, the cayenne will come out. There's no question about that. Cody Fajardo is going to join us at 3:20 today to talk green and gold as they take on the BC Lions on Friday. Adam Scully from Golf Cock Canada as we get to another major in golf, the final major of the year, the Open Championship. Scotty Scheffler is the defending champ. His streak of making the cut for 4.5 years ended last weekend. So something tells me he might be motivated. Rory and Scheffler are the two favorites, which, whatever that means. Like, come on, it's golf. Some people are like, maybe it's Matt Fitzpatrick time. Tommy Fleetwood, best salad on tour. Can he get his first major championship? So we'll talk a little golf with Adam. Harmon Dale will join us. The Edmonton Oilers, September 29th is when their season will officially begin. They have preseason games on the 19th, 22nd, 24th, and 26th. Then they'll have 2 days off, and they will drop the puck on this season against the Vancouver Canucks on Tuesday. And then they go to Vancouver on Thursday. And hey, no offense to the Canucks, it would be hard-pressed for the Oilers to have a more favorable first 2 games of the season. Honestly, Cons, in the Western Conference, I don't think there's a team, maybe Chicago, because Bedard's not there. Maybe Chicago. I don't think there's a team you'd rather face on opening night than the Vancouver Canucks. And then you get to face them again. Like this, I said it after the season. I felt like the Oilers are going to have a good start next year. They'll be rested. Nobody has off-season surgery. And that was before they fired the coach. Now they fired the coach. Now you've got, we got to impress the coach. We got to impress the coach factor. And the fact that they were disappointed in how their regular season went last year. Admittedly, they kind of took it for granted, didn't take it as serious as they should have. So now you get to start 2 games against the Canucks, and we'll see what the rest of their schedule looks like. That'll come out tomorrow for the Oilers. But Vancouver back-to-back to start the season. And the Oilers will just, they'll be looking for a good start. They need a good start. It is, they haven't had a ton of great starts the last few years. So this at least gives them an opportunity to come out of the gate pretty good. At least in theory, anyway. So Vancouver, just because you show up doesn't mean you're going to win if you're the Edmonton Oilers. But you could you get off to a good start, right? They opened up against the Canucks in 2022, and they beat them on their opening night game. Then you look at At 2023, they lost to Vancouver. Remember that one? Oof.
8-1.
8-1. That was ugly. Ugly. And so I'm looking in their last 5 openers. If we go back to, they opened up against Vancouver and beat them in a shootout in Edmonton in October of 22. So then they beat them in 23. They beat them in 21 and 22, lost in 23. 24, 25. They opened up against the Jets, lost. That's when they started out with 3 straight losses. And last season, the Oilers opened up the campaign, losing in overtime to the Calgary Flames. So, haven't had great starts. The last time the Oilers started 2-0 in the season. Oh, man, we got to go back a ways here. It's it would have been in 21-22. They won their first 5 games that year. Beat Vancouver, Calgary at home, and Anaheim, then won in Arizona and Vegas. So who knows what the rest of their schedule is, but for a 2-0 start, I honestly don't think they could have asked for a better opponent. You start at home, and then you go to Vancouver. There's no advantage of, well, we're playing a team who didn't open the night before or something like that. No. And Edmonton and Vancouver open up home and away. So do Calgary and Seattle. Interesting to note, the Florida Panthers will be a team who their first 4 games of the year, they're all on the road, and they'll face teams in their home openers at home. So kind of unique for Florida because they're going to be on the road in Carolina on the 29th. Then they got to fly across the country. They go to San Jose on the Thursday, Anaheim on the Sunday, and then LA on the following Tuesday. Chicago's the road team for 3 home openers in Vegas, Utah, and Buffalo. And then there's like 7 teams that open up for teams twice. As mentioned, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary, Seattle will each open up for each other. So there you have it. 84-game season. For many of you youngsters, first time you've ever seen it. Not the first time in NHL history. That, of course, was back in 1993 and 1994. And this just coming down, if you're a fan of players staying on their team, Alvin Kamara has signed a deal with the Saints. He's staying back. And Connor Halley. It's like a delayed reaction.
I missed it.
You didn't see it. England just scored.
Oh, unreal.
Up 1-0. Ooh. So we'll see. Can Argentina come back? Wow. Good for England. Cons, you watch the highlight and then give us your thoughts on the goal. And it wasn't Kane. It's not Bellingham. So that's big news for England because they were looking for someone else to come in and nice little footwork on the cross, Cons?
Beautiful. I love the replays now, how they break it down at every touch so we know it's not offside.
Yeah.
No worries there. VA Argentina won't get the benefit of the doubt on this one. And tap in for the back door.
Who was that scored? 18?
Gordon.
So that's his first of the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ties Marcus Rashford with 1 for 3rd on the team.
Now I wonder, is that his first ever goal at the World Cup? Like, did he play 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Talk about your first ever goal at the World Cup is a 1-0 goal in the semifinals. Oh, what a moment. Could you imagine the pubs in England right now? Like, when you think about places you'd want to be, that would be a place I'd want to be, man. It'd be going absolutely wild. Wild. Let's take a quick break. We'll return. Hans Arcon joins us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. CanTorque has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Early mornings just got louder. For the hottest takes and the sports stories that actually matter to Edmonton, you need Tom Gazzola. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440 at 833-401-1440.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 5-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
"Wow, great hair transplant."
I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
.222. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Cougar, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. England has scored. It is 1-0 There is about 30 minutes left in the match unless they go to extra time. So we'll see. But could be an epic day if England can hold on. Argentina really hasn't been able to generate much so far, so we'll see if Messi has some magic here in the last 30 minutes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, where you can text us. Time now to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And hey, it's warm outside. Maybe if you're like me, you got to scratch your throat, you want to cool it down, get some ice cream. How about $1 cone right now, only at McDonald's through the McDonald's app? So download the app, get $1 cones at McDonald's. And earlier today, big announcement in Detroit. Steve Yzerman is out as general manager. He will stay on in an advisory role to Chris Ilitch. Now, how much advising will he do? I have no idea. Who are the front runners for the job? No better person to talk to. A longtime beat reporter for the Red Wings from M Live, Ansar Khan, joins us. Ansar, as always, man, appreciate your time. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm excellent. So early on, who do you think would be some early candidates for this opening?
Well, the release, they said they're going to consider both internal and external, as you'd expect they would say. Certainly internal, there's two candidates, the assistant GMs, Chris Draper and Sean Horkoff. But, this thing has been such a mess this offseason, and really since Yzerman arrived 7 years ago, it's like, I just question whether they would want to just insert an Yzerman disciple, somebody who's worked under him during that time, and risk, having more of the same. My guess is that they're going to want a clean break from this and hire somebody from the outside.
Okay. Now they've got the replacements got some pretty big decisions here. There's the Dylan Larkin trade request. There is Alex Brinkat entering the final year of his contract. Then you have young Edmondson, who needs a contract. He's an RFA. And, some people were wondering if maybe there's a team kicking tires who might try to offer sheet him. So whoever takes over, Ansar's got some pretty major decisions to make right away.
Yeah, and it all starts with the Larkin, ending this Larkin fiasco one way or another. The first question that popped up in my mind was, now, does this sudden and unexpected shift prompt Larkin to rescind his trade request? Because clearly, it not only was it he made that not only because of the direction of the team and the feeling of hopelessness and how this isn't getting any better, but his personality clashed with Yzerman. I mean, they simply did not get along. Now that Yzerman's out of the picture, does Larkin now say, you know what, I'm good, and I'll stay and I'll see this thing through? Now, if he did do that, it would require a lot of PR, a lot of image mending there. But who knows? The Red Wings also, and I'm sure the fans know, they're a much better team with Larkin than without him, because it's clear he's going to be hard to replace. I mean, top line centers don't grow on trees.
Yes,
and we see that they're hard to come by, and he's a relative bargain at an $8.7 million cap hit locked up for the next 5 years. You're not going to do better than that. I mean, you see the way salaries are escalating here. So if he decides to say, okay, I'll stick around, I think that'll work for the Red Wings, and that'll be a good way to start for the new GM to not have to worry about that. And I think if that happens, then they'll eventually get the DeBrincat signed in due time here. And the Edmonton thing, I don't think that was ever a really concern among the organization. They were prepared to match whatever he received if you were to get an offer sheet.
What has led to Larkin and Yzerman not getting along?
That's a good question. I know it. This stems. I can only speculate because obviously Larkin hasn't talked, and the only public comment that Yzerman made about this whole thing broke was at the draft, after the draft, when he said, there's no guarantee that he will trade Larkin, and that he was prepared to see him at training camp, basically. But I think this whole thing started a few years ago when Henrik Zetterberg retired. Everybody thought that, okay, Larkin makes sense. He's going to step in as the next captain. Well, everybody except Steve Yzerman, who went a couple of years, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 years, with no captain. They had 3 guys wearing the A, including Larkin. I think that chafed Larkin a bit, not being named captain right away. Yzerman basically telling him, well, you got to show me before I just hand you the C that you're capable of doing this. And then a couple of years ago, Larkin ticked off Yzerman with his comment after the season saying, the room was disappointed that they didn't do more at the trade deadline to help the team. And Yzerman really irked Yzerman big time. He responded to that by saying, well, we needed our best players to be our best players down the stretch, and they weren't. So I think those things have been festering here for a couple of years, and it just basically came to a head after the season, which is strange because after the season, Larkin insisted that he was committed to seeing this thing through, as did Yzerman. But obviously things changed.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I could see why Larkin was a little disappointed that the GM didn't. You want help at the deadline. And at the same time, I can understand why the GM looks and says, guys, 3 years in a row now, we've been in a playoff spot in either January, February, or March. And every year we've tanked down the stretch, right?
Yeah, well, the thing there was Yzerman did not like that he went public with it. Basically embarrassed him.
Yeah,
he said that should have been handled behind closed doors. You should have told me that face to face instead of going public with it.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. So you look at Detroit now, and you mentioned Sean Horkoff and Chris Draper, guys who've been in the organization, but they've worked with us. I mean, that doesn't mean that they don't have their own plan if they got in place, but it is, a lot of people felt like, okay, Yzerman took over and Ken Holland had kind of put him in a bad spot and was going to take a few years, but they were going to get better. And it's never really come to fruition. There's been signs like, heck, they were in first place in their division in January this year, Ansar. What has happened down the stretch repeatedly where the Wings just can't get any traction?
Yeah, that's happened 4 years in a row now. They've been notorious for folding in March, so much so that right at the end of February, Todd McClellan was asked about it, and he basically said, "Look, I'm done. I'm not talking about March. That's in the past. Different teams." And then the next thing you know, the same exact thing happened in March. There's something about this roster, this team that it's very soft. Not only mentally for the collapses, but the organization also admits too that the players, McClellan, Yzerman, all talked about it after the season, that they're just too easy to play against, and that's the main reason why they Yzerman traded for Keegan Colasar right at the start of free agency. There, they need to be tougher to play against, more gritty, more abrasive physically, and then also just from a mindset standpoint, they can't fold when the going gets tough late in the season like they have. But again, that speaks to the guy that put these players in place. This roster is entirely Yzerman's, with the exception of Larkin and Michael Rasmussen, who are the only two remaining holdovers from Ken Holland's time here.
Yeah. Well, they've had a lot of changeover, and the Cider draft has obviously worked out very well. Edmondson and a lot of the other ones, and really probably the biggest mistake from an outsider that I've seen was really a lot of their evaluation. Like, you look at some of the defensemen that they got rid of, and the ones they brought in most cases just weren't any better, and in a lot of cases were actually worse. When I'm talking veteran guys.
Yeah, well, but actually, they got rid of Jake Wallman, which was a bizarre situation. As you know,
Roenick.
Philip Roenick. He was going to be up for a big contract, and then decided he wasn't going to be worth it. But they actually got they were able to get a first round pick for him from Vancouver. So they actually they're good with their defense. After the season, they felt they were set there. It's their main problem was up front and scoring. They were ranked 30th in the league in 5-on-5 goals, which is why they signed Arvidsson, and I think 22nd overall in goals per game. And then, to offset the Arvidsson signing a bit, it looks like they're going to lose Patrick Kane, so that's going to leave a hole in the offense. But defensively, it's certainly not the best defense, but they feel they've got a really, really good top pairing in Cider and Edmondson, and and a decent. They feel they got a decent veteran second pairing with Justin Falk and Ben Sherratt, and then they've got an up and coming prospect they feel good about in Axel Sandin Pellico, who will probably start the season in Grand Rapids.
Anzar Khan joins us here. Steve Yzerman is out. He's in an advisor role, Anzar, and I know he had term on his contract. Like, guys go in these advisor roles, and in a lot of cases they don't get to say much. And considering the lack of success they've had, I'm not sure Steve Yzerman should be saying much.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think that's basically a figurehead position. I would not expect him to be involved much in the decision making, in the hiring process, or in any personnel moves. Basically, it's just a title. I know that the Illiches, who also own the Tigers, are big on analytics, and that really shaped their hirings in the Tigers front office. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Illich, in his interview process, seeks out GMs, guys who are big on analytics. I know that the assistant GM in Carolina, Tyler Dello.
Yeah,
I know he's a big analytics guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on their short list of candidates to interview. Evan Gold, another guy that comes to mind, the assistant GM in Boston. Scott White, assistant GM for Jim Nill in Dallas. There's some names there that I think if they're looking to go into that more of an analytics type direction, I would look for those guys as potential replacements.
Yeah. Well, and my last question, Anzar, was, considering that the organizations missed the playoffs for a decade, do you get a sense at all that they want an experienced GM, or are they fine with having somebody who has experience in management, just not at the GM spot?
Yeah, no, I think they're open to, like I said, I think, if they look for an analytics guy, it'll probably somebody who's been serving as an assistant GM with a good team, and go that direction. Some of the, I'm not even sure, aside, I know maybe they had some interest in Kevin Adams, who was I think he was just hired by the Bruins as an advisor yesterday. He helped build up the Sabres, and then they fired him just before they got good. He might be a possibility as a guy with NHL GM experience. But other than that, I'm not sure who else they could get in there. No other name comes to mind as far as a guy's NHL GM experience. Certainly, I mean, people will toss out, well, Jim Nill, the longtime Red Wings assistant GM, but why in the world would you want to leave Dallas?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes absolutely no sense to me. No. He's 68 years old, 3-time GM of the year in Dallas.
Yeah, no chance.
That makes no chance of that happening. But other than that, I can't off the top of my head just think of any other experienced head GMs out there that might be candidates. I know another former Red Wing assistant GM, the assistant with the Rangers, Ryan Martin. He could be another possibility too.
Okay. Well, Ansar, it's going to be a crazy few weeks in Detroit to figure out who's going to be the GM, and then what's happening with Larkin, what's happening with Edmondson, and hey, what's happening with Patrick Kane too. That's another big story to see what's going to go on. So no off season for Ansar is what it looks like here over the next month. So enjoy that, Ansar. Oh. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No problem.
There you go. That is Ansar Khan. Joining us from M Live in Detroit, Steve Yzerman. No longer the GM. He's now in the advisor role, whatever that means. Like, I know I saw a lot of people, he's failing up. I'm like, it's not like he's the head of hockey operations. He's just in an advisor role. Just basically still getting his contract. That's kind of the way I look at it. Who knows how much advising he's going to do? We'll see. Take a quick break, come back, and hey, this guy might need an advisor. Who was his advisor? Because it doesn't look like he was getting good advice. We'll discuss it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
You're looking for the best zero-turn mower? Go to the source. Hustler Turf and the Lawnmower Hospital. Hustler Turf started the zero-turn market in 1964, and they're still the kings of quality, durability, and performance. With versatile sizing from 34 to 104 inches, you'll have what you need to make your summer lawn care a breeze. Financing is always available. Check lawnmowerhosp.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital. It may not mean nothing to y'all.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Jason Gregor.
Rolling through Monday afternoon. Oh, right now, Pickford is putting on a clinic in goal for England. He has made some monster stops, although that one looked like it was going over the net anyway. But he's been awesome here in the last 20 minutes as England clings to a 1-goal lead with about 10 minutes left to play. And then there's obviously going to be some stoppage time, and Argentina just scored. They just tied it after talking about how great he was. But you know what? You can't just keep giving up that many good chances. Argentina was on. England just sat back, man. It's a death wish, Connor Halley. It's a death wish in sports. I don't care what sport, to sit back for too long. I just think it's too tough.
Yeah, I mean, they found some comfort in it against Mexico down a man. They did it against Norway, and Pickford had no chance. That was an absolute strike.
Yeah, no, that was,
you could see, as soon as it left his foot, you could see.
I didn't see who scored it, but that was a hell of a strike. And suddenly, it is 1-1. Now, let's get to our. It's been a crazy offseason, man, in a lot of different sports. As we get to our NBA report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer. LegacyHeating.ca. As Josh Lewenberg joins us, of course, covers the Raptors for TSN. And Josh, the Kawhi Leonard saga, story, trade, non-trade has probably interrupted your off season a little bit. So kind of take me through this. And do you have any idea why this investigation is taking so long?
Yeah, I mean, look, like the Raptors and the Clippers and basically the rest of the league, I'm doing what everyone else is doing. I'm waiting on word of this investigation, the completion of this investigation, which is holding up the trade. I think a lot of people were hoping that yesterday's Board of Governors meeting would bring some clarity. It did not. With Adam Silver speaking after the meeting, really just saying that the hope is that things wrap up here before the end of the summer. So what does that mean? Does it mean by the end of August? Does it mean by training camp, which starts in the last week of September? Technically, the NBA summer goes until the end of September. So clearly they're keeping things intentionally vague, which tells us, of course, that a resolution to this thing isn't imminent at this point, which of course is odd considering we're in the 11th month of what's clearly a very thorough investigation. I, like everybody else, am getting impatient and wondering what's taking so long. But at the same time, and I keep having to remind myself this, and I was telling myself this a bunch yesterday as I was kind of playing devil's advocate and thinking all right, I get it. Everyone wants to know what's going on here. There are players and teams in limbo. But at the same time, isn't the NBA doing what it should be doing and taking their time on this, making sure they get a very serious situation right? I mean, now that the Raptors are tied into all of this and Raptors fans have a horse in the race, they have stake here. Now, all of a sudden, Raptors fans are all right, Kawhi's innocent. Let Kawhi go, when a few months ago, it was probably the opposite. Throw him away, ban him for life. But if we're looking at this objectively, if the Clippers, the big if here, obviously, it's still an alleged situation, but if the Clippers and if Kawhi were guilty, obviously they would want the trade to expedite the process. They would want the NBA to say, all right, we got to figure things out quickly. Let's wrap this up. So the NBA is right to say that the trade shouldn't expedite this process and continue to let it play out and ultimately make the right determination based on whatever the findings are in this investigation, in this process. What's taking so long? It's impossible to say without knowing what the evidence is, what exactly they're looking into. The latest reports from The Athletic indicates that actually there might be even more to this story than what we realize, maybe with a second endorsement deal or non-endorsement deal that the league is looking into, as well as a few other things. So, yeah, I mean, I think the fact that we're into the 11th month of this thing and there's still no resolution, that in and of itself is telling, because if this was an easy case, if this was kind of straightforward, they're innocent, they're guilty, it probably would have been wrapped up quicker. The fact that it's taking this so long, one, tells us that it's complex and probably tells us that there's some there's some fire behind the smoke. There's a lot of smoke here and there's probably fire. I would be really, really surprised if the NBA decides after probably close to a year to wrap this up and say, okay, nothing to see here, no wrongdoing, no punishments, no discipline. Something is going to come down here. Something is going to come out of this. It's just a question of what. Are they disciplining the Clippers? Are they disciplining the Clippers and Kawhi? And ultimately, obviously, the question for the Raptors, whatever comes out of this, is it going to be big enough to ultimately impact the trade and shake their foundation?
Yeah. So we were discussing it, Josh, what would be a scenario? So the Clippers get a fine. That doesn't impact the Raptors at all. You're whatever, pay the fine. It's really going to come down to a Kawhi Leonard suspension. I think if it's 10 games or maybe even 20, the Raptors might say, okay, we'll do the trade. But if it's like a 40 half a year trade, I don't know if the Raptors can afford to do it at that point, because now you're giving up 2 NBA players and you're not getting anything in return until 40 game mark.
Yeah, so let's work backwards here and talk about the worst case scenario, but ultimately the most unlikely scenario, what we'll call the doomsday scenario, the disaster nightmare scenario, where the NBA decides to void Kawhi's contract. That, to me, is the only clear and obvious situation that would jeopardize this trade. Obviously, if his contract is voided, then the Raptors aren't going to trade for him. They literally couldn't trade for him at that point. I'll touch on that very quickly and just say that, like, the belief is that scenario is not impossible. I don't want to say impossible just because so much of this scenario, so much of this whole Kawhi saga, as you call it, has been so unusual and so strange, and we don't know what the evidence is going to show and all of that. But one, the contract that he's currently under isn't even the one that, as far as we know, being investigated. This contract was signed in 2024. The contract that is under investigation for possible cap circumvention was the one that he signed in 2021, expired more than a year ago. So there's that. But then also, like, I mean, even if you just look at this, like, logically, even if Kawhi asked the Clippers for the same things that we know he asked the Raptors for back in 2019, including no-show endorsement deals, ownership stake in the Leafs and the MLSE and all sorts of outrageous things. I mean, ultimately, the player and his reps can ask for whatever they want. You don't have to give it to them. In fact, like, if it's against the rules, the onus is on the team to not give it to them, to say no. That's what the Raptors did in 2019. So if it's found that the Clippers are guilty of that and that Kawhi was complicit in it to some degree or asked for those things, like, I think obviously there'll be some punishment for Kawhi.
Yeah.
But if the NBA is dropping the hammer in that case, like, it's going to come down on the Clippers. You mentioned fine, probably losses of draft picks and all of that. So let's theoretically rule that option out and say that a likelier scenario is the suspension. And I would agree with that. How many games would that be? It's so hard to say without knowing, like, what the result of this investigation is. How complicit was Kawhi? How much of an example do they want to set here? But I mean, my sense of it is anything short of the doomsday scenario, the voided contract, and the Raptors and the Clippers both intend on finding a way to work through this trade as currently constructed. Now, you're right. Like, it's going to depend on the length of a suspension. I agree with you. 10, 20, maybe even 25 games, anything in that range, and you deal with it. Would it be ideal? No, but let's face it. If you're trading for a 35-year-old Kawhi Leonard, you're probably not expecting him to play anything close to a whole season anyway. Ideally, if he's going to miss 20 games, you want to have them sprinkled over the course of the season, like load management, rather than him missing the first 20 games. But again, like, you figure it out. And I'm pretty sure that the Raptors would in that scenario. If it's more than that, obviously, if it's an entire season, that's basically voiding the contract indirectly. But if it's half of a season, I don't know. I still think, based on talking to people around the league, around the team, that they would still want to trade for Kawhi Leonard. At that point, I don't know, maybe you go back to the negotiating table and see if maybe you can get one of those picks back that you're giving the Clippers and maybe amend the terms of the trade if the suspension is long enough to warrant it. But I think, like, if that's the punishment, if it's a suspension, I think this trade still goes through in some form.
Okay. So let's now pretend the trade's gone through. And you know what? Ingram and Dick are going to Clippers with the picks, and Kawhi's coming to the Raptors. you look at their offense, you look at their whole lineup, and how competitive do you think the Raptors are in the East with Kawhi?
Yeah, well, again, it's going to depend on the suspension situation, and also depend, obviously, with Kawhi on health. If they're load managing, how much, how often are they load managing? You are obviously giving up a big piece in Brandon Ingram, somebody who carried them in a lot of ways offensively last year. Now, Kawhi, when he's out there, is going to be able to do that probably in a more efficient way than Ingram did, and then obviously gives you so much more defensively and in terms of the intangibles, making other guys better. That's the beauty of Kawhi, and one of the reasons why the Raptors were so successful in 2019, and one of the reasons why a lot of those guys that he played with in 2019 have become so successful now, looking back in hindsight at the success of Pascal Siakam or Fred VanVleet or OG Anunoby. All those guys talked about the experience of playing with Kawhi and how much he helped them on and off the court, learning to be a professional, work ethic, all of that. And then obviously like just his natural gifts and everything that he brings to the table, playing with that, learning from it. So I think he's really going to help some of the young guys, Jacoby Walter, Colin Murray-Boyles. I mean, you can go down the list. This is a very young team. I think they're in really good shape. Even in a much improved Eastern Conference, I think they're going to be right there. I mean, obviously, the Knicks are the team to beat here. Philadelphia becomes really interesting after adding Jaylen Brown. Indiana's going to be back in the conversation with Halliburton healthy. But a Raptors team with Kawhi Leonard, a Raptors team that finished 5th in the conference last year and had a top 5 defense in the NBA without Kawhi, adding Kawhi, I think they're going to be really good. It's now a question of how do they tread water? 1, if and when he's injured. 2, if and when he's load managing. And then 3, if he's suspended. I mean, obviously there are a lot of things that will need to come together in order for them to be able to withstand those games.
Right.
I'll throw one at you, though. I think RJ Barrett, a huge winner of this Kawhi trade in the sense that, like, we've heard his name bandied about in trade rumors for the last couple of years. He's gone from a guy that I think a lot of people, including the Raptors, viewed as potentially being expendable to now being a huge key during those nights where Kawhi isn't on the floor. Even important when he is, because one of the things that I think RJ proved last year when he was kind of knocked down in the pecking order behind Ingram and Scotty Barnes and all those guys is that he's willing and able to sacrifice. He doesn't have to be the number 1 or number 2 guy on the floor in order to find ways to be impactful. They rarely call plays for him. He's such a great cutter. He's so good at getting to the free throw line. He finds a way to make an impact. But then when Ingram was out of the lineup, especially in the playoffs, and you're asking him to do more, even in a moment's notice, he can step up and really carry your offense. So I think having a guy like that that's able to be so versatile in terms of his offensive impact is going to be crucial and might really be the wild card in terms of allowing this team to be successful long enough for Kawhi to potentially serve a suspension, come back, and then help take them to the next level.
Oh, we'll see. It'll be a fascinating story. But at the rate this investigation is going, Josh, we probably won't get an answer for another 2 months, which just seems like I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's way more to it, but it seems like a very drawn out investigation thus far.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, we'll see once it all comes down what the NBA was actually sorting through and working with. I will say, like, fortunately for the Raptors, they're in a situation now where they can kind of afford to wait, in the sense that, like, I know a lot of people have brought up, like, opportunity cost. Can they afford to sit here and wait during a crucial time, a crucial point of the offseason when teams are out there still signing guys, potentially still making trades? They are so kind of locked in financially with what they have over the cap, hovering around the tax and around the first apron. They can't really do much anyway. Their roster is almost full. I think they have 1 empty spot. So there's not really that much they can do now other than wait. And based on talking to people around the team, like they are talking and acting as though one, they're unworried by all of this. They're confident that Kawhi will be a member of the Toronto Raptors, and they're basically acting as if he already is. He's training with the team. He's with the team in Las Vegas.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, nothing really changes other than if, of course, something eventually changes.
Okay. We'll see. Josh, thanks so much for your time, man. We appreciate it.
All right, Jason, anytime. Take care, man.
There you go. That's Josh Lewenberg. And phew, what a turn of events. This World Cup, first half, meh. Second half has been wild. Connor Halley will update you in a Sports 1440 update. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember the OG tonight, Lotto 649, where you can get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. $30 million gold ball jackpot tonight. Here's Connor Halley, Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, you name it, they got it. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. Any color, any type. GoAuto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Semi-final action at the World Cup. Argentina scoring 2 goals in 7 minutes to come back to beat England 2-1. They'll now advance to Sunday's final in New Jersey, taking on Spain. Third place game goes Saturday, France and England. Earlier today, it was announced the Oilers kicking off their season at home on September 29th against the Canucks. Then they'll head to Vancouver for Game 2 on October 1st. The rest of the schedule will be released tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. The Detroit Red Wings announcing today that Steve Yzerman is moving out of his role as general manager and will move forward as a senior advisor to Governor and CEO Chris Ilitch. The team said the search for a new head of hockey operations is underway. Both internal and external candidates will be considered, while the Winnipeg Jets and restricted free agent forward Cole Perfetti reaching a new contract, 5 years, $38 million. Perfetti had 12 goals and 32 points in 68 games last season with the Jets. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Adam Scully of Golf Talk Canada and hear a conversation Gregor had with Elks quarterback Cody Fajardo. I'm Connor Halley. This has been the Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
You're looking for the best zero-turn mower? Go to the source. Hustler Turf and the Lawnmower Hospital. Hustler Turf started the zero-turn market in 1964, and they're still the kings of quality, durability, and performance. With versatile sizing from 34 to 104 inches, you'll have what you need to make your summer lawn care a breeze. Financing is always available. Check lawnmowerhosp.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Jason Gregor Show.
Oh, man, they were dancing a lot about 40 minutes ago. Now, oh, God, you good. And that's what's great about sports, man, the emotional roller coaster. You had a whole country celebrating, going crazy. They're up 1-0 or 1-0. Everything's great. And then all of a sudden it's 1-1. And then 6-7 minutes later, you're down 2-1. And then 6 minutes later, your World Cup. Well, it's not over because France will play England on Saturday for the third place game. And then for all the marbles on Sunday, it's Argentina and Spain. Argentina comes in the highest scoring team in the tournament. Spain comes in allowing the fewest goals. So we'll see what happens, offense or defense. Who's going to win? And Lionel Messi had 2 assists today. He has the most assists in the knockout stage of the World Cup in the last 60 years. So not only is he a good goal scorer, he's a pretty deft touch as a playmaker, man. His pass across on the game winner was just perfect placement. Absolutely perfect. So good for them. How about this? 10 of Argentina's last 12 goals have been scored after the 79th minute. 10 of 12, man. They don't sit back and think that Argentina is just going to go away. Now, Spain, they haven't given up anything. They've allowed 1 goal. It's been clean sheet of Rama for them. But so we'll see kind of how they do.
I was telling Declan, Gregor, like this game went exactly to script. If you would have looked back at the tournament, England against Congo holding off, Mexico with a red card parking the bus. They did the same thing against Norway, just trying to hold them off. Argentina throughout this has had to battle back in games to come, win at the end. It kind of went exactly to script. I don't know what England was thinking. We know how the striking power that you have if you're Argentina. Unbelievable cross, bad defending, and now Messi can look to make it 2 straight. That would be unbelievable.
Hey, boys, England did the same thing in the Euro final against Italy a few years back. Scored early on, then sat back. The rest of the game got scored on late. Ultimately lost the final from Daryl. Yeah. And now,
lost in penalties.
Yeah, that's right. But sitting back, I do think it's conscious. Like there's not, I don't know if, if your coach like, hey guys, we're not attacking at all. Players just in lots of sports, we see it in hockey, you just sit back. And man, it is, you can get away with it sometimes, but a lot of times it is, it's not great. Honestly, it isn't. It comes back to bite you in the you-know-what. So
it's prevent defense in football, right? You're letting the other team just get momentum, feel good about their game, get opportunities, and eventually they're the best in the world. They're going to make you pay. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, not
unbiased from me there.
No, it's dude, I love it. You're fired up like every English fan right now is not excited at all. Let's get to some stats of the day brought to you by All-Star Construction. And hey, you want to work for an all-star team, go to Indeed.com, look up All-Star Construction. If you're just starting out, general labor, boom, they got opportunities for you. If you're a hydrovac operator, equipment operator, backhoe operator, check it out at Indeed.com and look up GS Construction. So let's start with the CFL. If you don't know, Justin Rankin obviously has had a great first 5 games. He leads the league in 10-plus yard rushes with 20. He has 6 rushes of 20 yards or more, and he has the most big plays in the CFL with 8. He's already had 4 100-yard rushing performances. The only game he didn't, the BC Lions, 19 yards. Who do the Elks play on Friday? The BC Lions. So the O-line and Rankin are going to want to remedy their running attack against the Lions. No question. I'll be curious to see how they attack them. They threw for 51 times. I don't think that's going to be the game plan here. But now Rankin easily is on pace to get 1,000 yards rushing. That's not even a no-brainer. The receiving yards, like he's on pace right now for 1,069. He doesn't have a lot of wiggle room. So that's the one to me that I think is more interesting to watch. He's got 26 total touchdowns right now, or he's on pace for 26. He's got 7 through 5 games, which would surpass Milt Stiegel's record of 23. The closest players to the 1,000 club was Andrew Harris when he had 1,000 rushing and 857. So no player's ever even done 1,000 rushing and 900 receiving. So Robert Drummond, way back in 1997, also had over 1,000 rushing, and he had 840 yards receiving. This is what's great about the CFL early on this year. Touchdowns are up 26% from last year, this point of the season. 23% of drives right now are resulting in a touchdown, which is the highest rate ever in the CFL. We'll see. Games are averaging at least 6 big plays. Pretty solid. You got a lot of quarterbacks like Rankin's on pace for great numbers. Nathan Rourke, Chad Kelly, Davis Alexander. These guys right now are all on pace with by a fair margin to get to the 6,000 club, which only 5 quarterbacks in CFL have done it. Calvillo, last player to do it way back in 2004, and only once in CFL history have 2 players done it in the same year. Doug Flutie and Connor, Declan, do you know who it was? Doug Flutie and blank in 1993 each had 6,000 yards passing. Former Eskimo quarterback.
Oh, I'm blanking on the name.
Where did he play? Other than Edmonton.
Winnipeg?
No. David Archer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That wasn't who I was thinking. Never mind.
Okay, wasn't who you were thinking. All right. How about this second down conversion rate so far in the CFL this year? 51.3%. The league record is 48, set in 2016. And also 3.4 giveaways per game. That's the lowest ever. So last week, home teams won every game. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but home team was 4-0. So we'll see. You look at, how about this? Edmonton comes in against BC, the one area they've dominated. 16 turnovers forced for the Elks, only 4 for BC. But BC has won 11 of the last 12 matchups between these two teams. BC's allowing a league low 59.8 yards rushing per game and 3.5 rushing yards per carry. Meanwhile, the Elks lead the league in rushing with 136.6 yards. But obviously, they only had 24 yards in their first game. So that, to me, is going to be the big one to see. Can the Elks, can they run the ball this week? We'll see. That's our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We will take a quick break. When we come back, Cody Fajardo on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our hands and built whole careers here. The work is honest. The company's been around since 1974. So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us, GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Calling all pizza lovers at Papa John's. You can get a large one-topping pizza for only $14.99 using promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
.322. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Lotto 649 tonight, $30 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show. We have a little fun on who do you like to win the Open Championship. A little favorite. Little hometown hero, maybe a first-time winner. You can check those out at playalberta.ca. And, of course, we got some CFL action as they kick off another CFL week on Friday. If there was ever a week to have a Thursday game, this would have been the week. There's only one game, MLB, on Thursday. So, a little bit of a scheduling faux pas, I think, by the CFL. Now, I don't know if it's facility availability, maybe, who knows, but you're playing a lot of Thursdays. This would have been the one Thursday I would have played, just me. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is where you can text us, as it's time to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center. Well, they will have a big guest, a big name, a big face, Gene Simmons, big tongue, live in person at Silent Ice Center. Get your tickets. Quaint little venue. It's awesome. Those type of venues, 1,500, 1,600 people, is just better for a concert, man. Everybody's close. You're right on them. You're gonna love it. So get your tickets, silenticecenter.com. And I had a chance. Cody Fajardo's family's in town, so we didn't want to bother him during the show live. So him and I sat down after practice for a one-on-one. Here's Cody and myself chatting about all things green and gold.
Yeah, we got a mentally tough team, and last week really told us what we are as a unit, being able to bounce back from a tough loss, like you said. But that's what's so beautiful about the CFL game. You get to right some of your wrongs. Some leagues you only get to play an opponent one time, and you get multiple opportunities. So if you do lose a game, it just fires you up for the next opportunity. And we're thankful that it was only 2 weeks we had to wait. This is the last time we'll be playing BC too for the rest of the year. So it's just going to be a good opportunity for the guys. And we know we got to make them earn it and not just gift it to them.
I know you're all about the team, but on a personal note, best start of your career when you look at passing touchdowns, you look at efficiency, you look at passing yards, 300 a game. What's worked well for you individually so far?
Yeah, just chemistry with Coach McSimic and our receivers. Being able to be the starter from training camp day one really has helped me and just continue to progress in this offense. But familiarity with the offense is huge. My career has kind of been bouncing around quite a bit. So I feel like every time I get somewhere and I get comfortable with the system, it's like I go somewhere else, or I go somewhere else. So it's just one of those things in the CFL where you're bouncing around, but happy that we're winning football games. And I've told you before, it's not about statistical things for me. It also helps when you got a guy like Justin Rankin in the backfield. We're able to run the ball if we're efficient on first down, makes guys play us closer. We can get more explosions in the pass game, and you don't feel like you have to do everything yourself. Like, that's what's so great about our team. Our defense is really good. Special teams have been making plays, and offensively we have a lot of playmakers who can change the game.
Offensively, you guys have done everything you want, all areas of the field. The red zone's been a little bit of a struggle, right? The lowest touchdown efficiency early on. I know you break down the film. What have you seen that you guys need to improve on specifically in the red zone?
Yeah, I think our run game, our red zone run game needs to be better. Everyone knows we're going to run it, and we run the ball open field very good. And then when we get in the red zone, just defenders get tighter. So the window for opportunity in the run game is a little bit more difficult. I would say a lot of our efficient inefficiencies is when we're able to get 5 yards on first down in the red zone, especially in the tight red. Too many times we're second and long, and it's hard on second and long or second and goal from the 9 or 8 yard line. But I told the guys, it's not about talent when you get to the red zone. It's about composure. And, talent shows throughout the course of the entire game, but the guys who are composed in the red zone, all of a sudden you get down the red zone, everybody wants to make that play. Everybody wants to be the guy who to score a touchdown. I just tell the guys, hey, let's just take a deep breath and let's find a way to get this ball in the end zone, because that's how you win in this league. You got to score 7, not 3. You're playing a good team like BC. You got to score a lot of points, and you got to score 7 and not 3. So last week, I think our numbers were a little skewed. I think we were 2 for 3, but we kicked a late field goal where the game was kind of out of hand. We're probably going for it there, or we're just more aggressive. So sometimes stats lie a little bit where the game dictates what you got to do. But we all know we got to be better in the red zone. But 4-1 with the red zone inefficiencies that we've had is a good sign, because there's areas of this ball club needs to improve on, and we can get better. Even though we're 4-1, we can get better, and that's encouraging.
I think you've had 3 really short field goals, 11, 12 yards this year. So you're at the 4 and the 5 yard line. When they call the field goal unit, are you as the QB, are you pleading to gamble at that point? How's that relationship or communication work?
Yeah, it's usually game flow. The competitor in me wants to go for it every single time, but that's why cooler heads prevail, and the coaches make big bucks too, because they're not in the action on the field where you kind of let the emotions run of it. So they're making the logical decision. Sometimes you just see red on the field and you're like, I want to go for it every time. But obviously there's times when you want to be aggressive, but like I said, game flow is huge. If you feel like offensively you haven't been getting much going, and then you get in the red zone for the first opportunity, maybe you want to just get points there, or maybe you want to try have an opportunity to score because you haven't had too many opportunities in that. So that's just where I stand with it. It's game flow dictates. I would love to always go for it, but that's why the coaches get paid the big bucks.
You look at Keon's got 3 touchdowns, a lot of them in the red zone for you. Max looks like he's become more of a go-to guy. As the season progresses, are there just certain patterns and routes at certain times in the field where you get more confidence, say, this is what we're throwing because our best can beat their best?
Absolutely. You get a lot of man coverage down in the red zone. Either you get cover 0 where it's all out sting and you got to try and buy time, wear a hit, and throw a ball in the back of the end zone, or you get man coverage. So in those instances, you want to go to your playmakers. You want to go to the guys you trust where you're on your back and you don't get to see where the ball goes, but you can trust your receiver to be in the spot at the right time. And so I got a lot of reps with Keon and with Mac. And so sometimes you kind of fall back on that. That's nothing against our other guys, but they've shown incredible promise. They've looked great through the first 5 games of the year, and they're only getting better. And as the CFL season progresses, I tell them all the time, you guys aren't rookies anymore. We played 5 games. The rookie excuse is out the window. They got a lot of meaningful ball, and you see guys making plays for us, and it's just going to be encouraging to know that everyone's going to take that extra step. And like I said, when it gets in the red zone, it's all about composure, and it's a little bit less about talent. We just got to find ways to finish in the end zone.
There's obviously less options when you get, especially the deeper you go in the red zone, because they don't have to worry about you beating them over the top, right? Like at least on a deep ball anyway. So with your experience, Cody, what is the thing, like, been in the league a long time now, are there certain plays that automatically favor the offense when you find you're inside the 15 or the 10?
Yeah, a lot of motion really helps you, because like I said, it's a lot of man coverage. It's a lot of first read stuff. Like, people are bringing all out pressure, so you don't have time to go through your progressions. And that's what makes it hard in the red zone. 1, you have to be accurate. 2, your receiver, your number 1 receiver, whoever it is, the primary, has to win on his route. If he doesn't win, you have no chance to go to the second option. Now, teams will occasionally throw in zone and you call a man beater, and then all of a sudden they're running zone, and now you got to find a check down or something like that. But that's what makes it very difficult in the red zone down here. I think movement always helps, because you can get man zone indicators, and you can maybe cut guys loose because so much traffic's going on, and they're trying to run through the goalposts, and they're trying to do a bunch of stuff. So we've got a little bit more of that the last couple of weeks, and I think that's why our red zone efficiency has been much better than the start of the season. We just got to continue to making plays down there.
I watched a video the other day that had the camera from the QB basically right over his head with the pressure in there. So it was showing all the different formations and how quickly it comes. So you think about all the decisions that you have to make in that short period of time. How do you hone those skills? Like, is there visual training that you can do that allows you to pick up things that quickly?
There are things now. When I was going through it, the best way to get better is by doing it. The hard thing, though, is in practice, you don't get hit as a quarterback. And then you get in the game, and it's real life, real bullets, and you're getting hit, and you're trying to make throws. It's just a little bit different. So I think that's what makes the quarterback position so tough, is when you're going through the entire week, you're not getting hit, and then you get in the game, and every ball in practice, you're able to set your feet, throw a good ball. So I try to dictate hesitate and throw off my back foot in practice, scramble around, make throws where I know I wouldn't be getting hit, but at least I'm repping those. But like you said, you get caught up in looking in the rush, you'll have no chance of completing balls, especially in this league. So there's a lot of times you drop back, throw it blind, and just know you're about to get smoked.
Now, I know that the season's long,
Right?
and you have your family in town. Now, how much of a boost mentally, physically is that for you?
Yeah, it's just huge. Last night my youngest son just looked at me like every 5 minutes and he'd go, "Hi, Dada." And then he'd be doing something, he'd look at me and go, "Hi, Dada," like almost in shock that I was there. So those are the moments, I try to put everything on the line every given day, but especially when my family's in town. I don't know what the stat is, but I've been pretty successful in my career with my family and the attendance, and maybe it's just me giving a little bit more, but and wanting to make them proud. But yeah, I'm just excited to have them here. It's a big game against a very worthy opponent. So we have 10 games straight, and so I wasn't going to be able to see my family for like 2 months. So it's nice to have them up here. It's been about a month since last time I saw them, and just coming home after practice and seeing them and being able to go to the park or do something and just get away from football. Sometimes you get so football centered and you're just focused football that the bad days feel really, really bad and the good days feel good. But when you're with your family, it's like every day's a good day, and that's a good mentality to have and a good mental reset for me.
I think it's fair to say it doesn't matter what age you are as a player. When you're a kid, you want mom and dad in the crowd. Now you're a dad and a husband. It's always like a little extra juice, when the family's in the crowd. Where's your wife as far as is she an intense football spouse? Is she pretty relaxed? How is she?
She is. She gets stressed more so about the hits than anything. But she is very superstitious. It's funny when she's at home. She talks to me. She's like, "Okay, I was sitting on the couch. You guys had a touchdown drive. I stayed on the couch. As soon as I got up, oh, you guys went 2 and out. So I had to go sit." And she's like, "I sat on the couch for 3 straight quarters." And I'm like, "Hey, you're helping us any way you can." So it's funny. My wife, she's a soccer. She went to college for soccer. She knew very little about football and just getting together. And now she's talking about coverages, talking about concepts, and it's been really cool just to see her progression as a football fan and a football wife. But yeah, I owe a lot to her, and she does a lot of things from behind closed doors to help the Elks win football games.
And lastly, Cody, great start, 4-1. This is the last time you faced BC, and you look big picture. It's been a long time here that Edmonton can say, "Hey, we have a legit goal. We want to make the playoffs." And you look at this week, and then there's 2 weeks against Saskatchewan. I know you guys aren't focused on it, but it's a real big opportunity. As great of a start it is, how do you ensure that you maintain that momentum?
Yeah, by winning football games, by staying healthy. I mean, that's the hard thing. We've been hit with some injury bug the last couple of weeks. We've had different guys in different spots. It's been very difficult for us. We've been moving guys around, but we have a talented roster, and that's no excuse. It just goes to show how fast things can change in the CFL. And that's why fast starts are so important, because you're going to go through some ruts. You're going to have some times when you're not playing your best guys because they're on injured. But it's the CFL. Every week that passes, the next game gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what I try to relay to the young guys. It's like, yes, our 4-1 start is great, but every game from here on out, like you said, BC, huge game. Last opportunity we get to play them. Then back to back with Sask. And so every game after that, it's just going to be more important and more important. So we got to find a way to settle in, get in a groove. I think we're in a really good groove now. I'm glad we don't have a bye week for a little bit as well, because I think sometimes bye week takes momentum away from you. It's interesting to see our schedule. We've played a lot of teams off of byes, and nobody's really talking about that. So that's another difficult thing to do, because coaches have 2 weeks to prepare for you. So a lot of times we get on the field, we get in the red zone, they're doing something completely different than what we saw on tape, and that makes things a little bit more difficult. I think this is our 3rd team on bye, and I believe SAS next week is the same thing. They're on a bye this week. So players notice that, and it's just one of those things we got to get on the sideline and you got to be able to coach through it. But it's difficult playing teams coming off byes, and we've had to do it, but we've won doing it, and so that gives us confidence.
And one last one, Cody. Beard's out. Cortez came in. He's an experienced guy, but the relationship in the snap is obviously crucial between the center and the quarterback. How different is it from a Beard to a Cortez? Any significant difference?
Yeah, they're just snaps a little bit different. Cordy does a dead ball snap, so the ball doesn't spin on its way back, and Beard does a spin when his ball comes back. So just a little bit different there. I played with Cordy last year, and so we have good rapport. It's a luxury, and I said this after our game, and that's why I gave him the game ball after the Ottawa game. It's a luxury to have as many talented offensive linemen. We've had a lot of injuries on the offensive line, and we're just plug and play. Next guy steps up. Plug and play. Next guy steps up. So losing guys like Beardo and Woody are difficult, obviously. But Cordy's an all-star center. He's a guy that we trust, and he's going to get us right. And so I'm not going to lose any sleep or confidence in the guys up front.
So there you go. Cody Fajardo. Interesting little tidbit about the snaps from a slight spin to a flat snap from Corte to Beard. Just a small little details. There's always subtle changes when you have players come in, especially the center position. And I look at that how important it is. Obviously, Corte had the one bad snap on the shotgun last game, but that was really it. They were second long, and that kind of gave no opportunity to make a play. But I look at the Elks. This is going to be a real good test for them. They're going to want to rebound both offensive line and defensive line, because the Lions, they really controlled both of those in that win in Kelowna 2 weeks ago. So should be fun on Friday night, man. The weather's still looking hot. So it's going to be great. Get your tickets. Go to Go Elks. There's family packs where you can get a 4-pack of tickets for $89. Like, that's an unreal deal. There's no people who there's no excuse not to go unless you're just like, I'm not a football fan, which is totally fine. But if you've been saying you want to go to a game, this is the game to go to. Right? They got a good run here of home games coming up for the Elks. You got Friday night. This is the only time that BC comes to town this season. Then the Elks' next home game is the Saturday on August 1st, 5 o'clock against Saskatchewan. Then you got a 1 o'clock start on the 15th against Toronto, a Friday night against Winnipeg. Of course, the Labor Day rematch. So lots of good home games coming up for the green and gold. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Take a quick break. We'll return. We got lots of text to get to. Also coming up, we're going to have Adam Scully talking Open Championship and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk, elevate your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think.
But there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Any project, big or small, when you need metal cut to your exact measurements fast, count on Metal Supermarkets, a warehouse bursting at the seams with inventory, plus metal bending, drilling, punching, notching, plasma cutting, welding, even delivery. Endless possibilities. Now imagine what they can do for you.
How about a garage shelf?
Think bigger, my friend.
2 garage shelves?
There you go.
I live on the edge.
The local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
Oiler fans, I think you can relate to how England fans are feeling today. Now, you lose a championship 2 years in a row, pain. England, you got the World Cup once every 4 years. Heck, they're kind of like the Maple Leafs because they haven't won a World Cup since 1966. But there's not a World Cup every year, so it's not like they've lost the opportunity as often as Toronto has for the Stanley Cup. And England, you know what? They're playing really well. They took the lead, and strategy or just mental, they just sat back, and Argentina just kept coming and coming and coming, and eventually scored 2 goals in 7 minutes. Second one coming in extra time. And now it'll be Argentina, Spain for the World Cup, and England and France, great rivalry, but they will be playing for third place, which I think I can comfortably say is where neither team wants to be right now. They had expectations to win, and obviously that is not going to happen this year. So that is a tough pill, man. Tough pill. I see lots of the England fans, the Brits, very, very frustrated, sad, disappointed. And that's why you love sports, and that's also why it's at times you feel like you hate them. Let's go in the room. Brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings for the most diversified electrical contractor in the province. Projects, testing, solar, and more. ActionElectrical.net. And the fourth and final major men's golf starts tomorrow through until Sunday. Adam Scully from Golf Talk Canada joins us. Adam, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, how many? I'm noticing the golf bag there. How often do you play now?
Well, it depends on the time of year. Depends on my work schedule. I was actually just in Ireland. I got back last week, played 7 rounds in 7 days. We shot a Golf Talk Canada Irish travel special. So that was the most golf I've played in quite some time. But normally I'm about once or twice a week if I get lucky.
Okay. What's your best round you've ever shot?
My best round I ever shot was 68. I have not come close to that since, although the last round I did play in Ireland, I'm a 4 handicap now, and I shot 74 with 6 birdies. So my game is a little up, a little down. I was fortunate to play at Royal County Down, the logo on my hat here, which many regard as the #1 rated golf course in the world. And I played out of my mind that day. It was a beautiful day, 23 Celsius, only a bit of wind. We played a lot of really interesting rounds in Ireland in terms of conditions. In our first round at Carn Golf Link, straight on the northwest, the wind was gusting up to 70 kilometers an hour with a sideways rain. So let's just say we got the whole Irish golf experience.
Nice. I like it. So we have the Open Championship, and it's unique. Scotty Scheffler comes in a position he hasn't been in over 4 years because he missed the cut last weekend for the first time. And I know his response, he's like, well, I got a few more days. I can get to the Open Championship earlier in practice. And really, it's probably it's a good way to look at it. I know he hasn't won a major this year, but he's been very good all season long again. How do you think he responds? Is missing the cut for him actually going to be a positive?
I think it might be a good thing, just given how the conditions are going to be different at Royal Birkdale. Firm and fast is the name of the game this week. So he'll have a little more time to hone his craft. The strokes gained approach numbers aren't quite what they were the past couple of years, where he led the PGA Tour 3 straight years. Now they're 13th, so he's still hitting it great off the tee. And it's interesting with Scotty, too, just the one win this season, but a number of runner-up finishes, and he just hasn't been able to cross that finish line. Couple losses in playoffs, too. And he's 31st in first-round scoring average this season on the PGA Tour. The other 3 rounds, he's inside the top 3. Yes. So if he gets off to somewhat of a decent start, kind of like what he did at the U.S. Open just last month before he faltered on that Sunday, it would be shocking to see Scotty Scheffler not in the mix this week. And of course, he is the defending champion here at the Open and at Royal Portrush last year in Ireland. The conditions were quite benign, and they'll be a little different this week in terms of firm and fast, but I think it'll still be a challenge.
The course, Royal Birkdale, has hosted this event 10 times. The last one coming in 2017 when Jordan Spieth won. What do you make of this track as a guy who's played a lot of courses around the world? Do you look at certain people's games and you feel like it shapes up well for some guys?
Yeah, perhaps a little bit. And it's interesting because at the Open, we've seen some like unheralded, out of nowhere winners. Yeah. I'm thinking of Ben Curtis, Todd Hamilton, Darren Clark. In fact, in 2015 as well, a young amateur, Paul Dunn, was tied for the lead in 2015, heading into the final round at St. Andrews. He didn't play his best on Sunday. So it could really be anyone's ball game this week. Strategy is going to be something that's fascinating because there are these massive pot bunkers in a number of these fairways where if it's downwind and the fairways are as firm and as fast and it's as hot as we believe it's going to be, some mid-irons are rolling out 280 yards. So some players, it's that firm, it's that fast. So the ball's rolling out 60, 80 yards with a 6 or 5 iron. That's what John Rahm was saying at his press conference on Tuesday. So Rory had the quote saying he thinks some guys are just going to take driver and carry all the pot bunkers because Rory had a scouting mission at Royal Birkdale a couple of weeks ago, and he said the conditions were totally different. He said the rough was way thicker. Now, since then, there's been a heat wave on that side of the pond, right? And the rough isn't quite as thick. So some guys might just say, I'm going to hit driver absolutely everywhere, take my chances with the wedge, hopefully have a pretty good lie. So I think strokes gained approach is going to be a critical one this week. Get the ball once you're in play to have the right angle into some of these hole locations. And your lag putting is going to be absolutely critical. We know the greens are generally slower at the Open Championship, and you'll see a lot of Texas wedges, we call them, a lot of putters off the green, controlling that and trying to 2-putt from everywhere. That's going to be the name of the game.
Adam Scully joins. So you mentioned if they're just going to use drivers lots, obviously then do you think the big bombers will have an advantage?
Potentially. Now, you need your whole game in play. Like I'm really high on Rory this week. Rory's played this reduced schedule so much so that after his T7 last week in Scotland, he was finally eligible for the strokes gained categories on the PGA Tour's website. He wasn't on it before, and he won the Masters back in April, which is hard to believe. Now, Rory is up there in strokes gained off the tee, leading the PGA Tour. He's also second in strokes gained total. So all facets of his game are working in a big way. I think you're going to see a bunch of different types of players on this leaderboard. You're going to see bombers. You're going to see some of the shorter hitters who put a premium on hitting the fairways, but controlling your approach shots, like that is, if you don't control your approach shots, you're not going to win. And sometimes you're going to get links golfed, if you will. Some guys are saying that approach shots with wedges were rolling out 10 or 15 yards, where here in North America, normally it lands on a dime. Normally it spins back. So you've got to play a bunch of different shots. And that's the beauty of links golf.
Yeah, it is a totally different game, and my game's not good enough. I don't like links golf, to be honest. And I'm not accurate enough to be like, throwing darts anyway, so I could probably suck at every game. But I do find that when it's open and there's more wind, guys, now obviously the pros can do it, right? But hitting lower shots at times. Now you're saying it's going to be hot and maybe the wind doesn't play a factor. But you talked about the lag putting, but what about like long irons? How does that change under these conditions? Does the approach and strategy change a lot on longer irons?
Yeah, absolutely. Colin Morikawa every year uses a different set of irons specifically for the Open to work with the turf that is there overseas. And I just played in Ireland. It's totally different hitting off grass that's sort of covered with sand. It was, for me, I'm not a pro, obviously, but it's hard to compress irons and wedges to the best of your ability. Now, the most interesting aspect or example of this, I should say, was back in 2006 when Tiger Woods only used one driver at Hoylake. Instead, he used long irons everywhere, and it was baked out. It was firm. It was fast, similar to what we see, what we're going to see this week. And he just relied on his 2-iron off the tee, and then he was 50, 60, 70 yards back of his opponents on most holes because he was laying way back. But the long irons were working for him on that week in particular. So he got it done that way. So your long irons are going to be critical, and that lag putting. And then on top of all that, I mentioned this earlier, you got to avoid those pop bunkers, because if you're in a pop bunker in a fairway, more often than not, you're punching out or splashing out sideways or maybe even backwards.
Talking Open Championship with Adam Scully from Golf Talk Canada. You mentioned you like Rory this weekend. Outside of Scotty Scheffler, because I think everybody's going to be like, hey, I think Scheffler has a chance. Is there anybody else whose game or just how they're playing you like heading into this weekend?
Yeah, I'll give you two names who are a little maybe under the radar, you could say. One of them, Robert McIntyre, who in his last two starts, T3 and T10, now he's from Scotland, so he knows links golf like the back of his hand. He's played, doesn't have that much experience really at the Open Championship, but has played decently well, 3 top 10s in his career at the Open. So that's one name, the lefty. And another name, and I had to triple check this to make sure it was right, Russell Henley is 5th in the official World Golf Rankings. And he has 2 straight top 10s at the Open coming into this week, 5 top 10s at majors overall in his last 3 years. He was a winner just last month too. He's someone who could be, you could almost call it boring golf, just hitting fairways, hitting greens. He's not the longest player off the tee, and on certain golf courses, it doesn't work. He wasn't great at Bethpage Black during the Ryder Cup. Why? Because it's a long golf course, and you got to hit the fairway. If you miss the fairway, you don't have any chance. Here, there isn't all that much rough, and the fairways are firm and fast. So he can carry a driver, call it 270 yards, and let it roll out. Now, he's got to avoid the pop bunkers, obviously, but those are 2 names that I'm looking at other than Rory and Scotty to contend this week.
Okay. Now, I've noticed there's a few names that, everybody always gets excited. There's a guy like Tommy Fleetwood is still waiting for his first major, and Matthew Fitzpatrick. I noticed online a lot of the golf people like, hey, I kind of like him. What do you make of those two? And, Fleetwood, I don't know if I can say he's the best guy without a major, but he's got to be right up there.
Definitely right up there. And I know England just lost to Argentina. So now all the English fans will turn their attention now to guys like Fleetwood, to guys like Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose, Aaron Rai, who won the PGA Championship really out of nowhere back in May. But for both those guys two very different players. Matt Fitzpatrick won the U.S. Open back in 2022. He has rebuilt his swing again. He's got this kind of weird pre-shot routine where he rolls his shoulders back because his arms are actually longer than the average person at that height. And his strokes gain approach numbers are through the roof this season. Inside the top 5 a couple of years ago was outside the top 100. So his iron game has been very good. Top 20 in all 3 majors so far this season. And he has 3 victories on the PGA Tour. So it would be shocking to see Fitzpatrick not in the mix. For Tommy Fleetwood, he doesn't have a top 10 in his last 11 majors played. So perhaps the pressure of playing in majors gets to him a little bit. However, he finally got that first PGA Tour win last year at the Tour Championship, and he's another guy. He hits it great off the tee. His irons are good. But what I'll be looking at as Tommy Fleetwood is the flat stick, the putts. Last summer, he had a number of chances to win, and coming down the stretch, it was so tentative. And on these greens that will be a little slower than we're used to seeing here in North America, you've got to be aggressive, or else the putt just simply isn't going to get to the hole. So I think Fitzpatrick has a better chance than Fleetwood this week, but either of those guys in the mix, it'd be a great story come Sunday.
It's going to be awesome. I really appreciate your time, man. Enjoy it, and we will see what happens. We'll see if Scotty Scheffler can get a win. It's odd to say that for him. He's the best golfer in the world, but as you would know better than most, golf is really hard. And the difference, like when Scheffler missed that 2-foot putt in the playoff, I still can't believe that. Like, that's got to be the biggest miss of the year. Like, it's a 2-footer for the best guy in the world in a playoff.
Yeah, that was mind-boggling, and Hovland had just made the putt, obviously, just before that, so he could be a little aggressive, but he didn't really touch the hole from 2 feet 4 inches, right? You think the best player in the world, he could do that with his eyes closed. He'd make that putt 99 times out of 100. So I'm sure Scotty Scheffler has some fuel to the fire this week, right? To bounce back, and he had some interesting comments speaking to the media about not really caring about his legacy, and Rory too, and both of those went kind of viral. But I quite simply, I'd be shocked if Scheffler isn't within one of the last 3 or 4 groups come Sunday.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam, for your time, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is Adam Scotty from Golf Talk Canada. Who do you like? You know what? Hey, I like watching golf. Brooke Henderson, I know I watched her last week, buddy. That was unreal. Her 6 birdies, the LPGA record, most in a major. She did lose in a playoff hole, but she needed an eagle on 18 to get to and she got it. Like, that is clutch, man. Clutch. And I know she didn't win, but it doesn't matter. Still made the huge shot when it mattered. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll get to the comment, Sports 1440 update. Then we got our round table that we do with Deck, myself, and Cons. We started that new little segment that we did last week, and we do it every day now at 4 o'clock. Here's the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good for professional property services that you can feel good about. Get Hire Good, site cleanup, debris removal, CEDL maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Earlier today at the World Cup semifinal, Argentina battling back to defeat England at 2-1. With that, they head to the final on a Sunday against Spain in New Jersey. Third place game goes Saturday in Miami, England, and France. Earlier today, it was announced the Oilers will pick up their season at home on September 29th against the Canucks, then head to Vancouver for Game 2 of the season. The rest of the schedule will be released tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. The Detroit Red Wings announcing that Steve Yzerman is moving out of his role as GM and will instead move forward as a senior advisor to Governor and CEO Chris Ilitch. The team said that the search for a new GM will have internal and external candidates. And the Winnipeg Jets and restricted free agent forward Cole Perfetti have reached a contract 5 years, $30 million. Perfetti, 24 years old, had 12 goals, 32 points last season in 68 games played. WNBA today, Sky over the Storm, 95-90. The Sparks fell to the Lynx, 96-87. Later tonight, Fever and Valkyries from Indy tip off 6 o'clock. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to the roundtable. We'll talk some Canucks with Harman Dial of The Athletic and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray
radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. Hire Good provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit HireGood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV with a question. Are you camp ready? Camp Ready is our 12-month RV maintenance plan. You might think from talking to you on the radio or my online videos that I'm a do-it-yourselfer, but you'll notice the real work is being done by my maintenance team, the same team that looks after your RV when you become Camp Ready.
Camp Ready is a custom scheduled maintenance plan for your used RV.
That's right, Bob. For one predictable monthly fee, your fall winterization is handled, spring startup is on your schedule, roof assessments twice a year, and if something goes wrong during the summer season, guess who goes to the front of the line? That's right, people like you who are Camp Ready.
You're expanding Camp Ready memberships now, right, Rick?
Bingo, Bob. We're accepting 100 new members. We have to keep it limited due to the capacity of our team, so we know we can serve you dependably. Ask about Camp Ready next time you see us.
And that's
NobleRV.ca. Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Stay big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, Rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through on a Wednesday afternoon. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Declan running things at YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Be sure to get involved. Give him a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Make his day. It'll make his day. So, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We do have a pair of seats to give away to the Elks game. We'll give those away in the 5 o'clock hour tonight. If you want to go to Friday night, the weather's looking good, looking real good for that on Friday night. Should be a lot of fun. Now, we're going to get to our roundtable brought to you by Go Auto. Looking for cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from at 73 different locations. You'll find a car near you at goauto.ca. Deck, you get to go first today.
Yeah, this is one. You guys know me, bit of a basketball fan, and this is something that I think has kind of been discussed in prior years. But I think Steph Curry, who I also think is a top 12 player of all time, one of the most entertaining players of all time, best shooter of all time. He's got a long list of accolades I don't need to list. But I think to a large degree, he ruined the game of basketball. Because I think his three-point shooting, there are a couple things that go into this. One, what has a lot of fans turned off right now is the amount of three-point shooting. Like it's all three-point shots, a couple fast break dunks, whatever. A lot of misses. I know the numbers support it. You got to shoot 33% from three to have the same amount of points as 50% from two. But the biggest problem is that these young kids with their development, like they will never turn into Steph Curry. He is one of one in all of NBA history. And it's a bit of an extension with the Golden State Warriors as well. But the way they introduced the three-point game to being as prevalent as it was, it set such a horrible precedent for young kids and young players learning basketball because it's just not conducive or sustainable for anyone who's not named Steph Curry or maybe Klay Thompson, but even we see what he's done in Dallas. So as good of a player he is, as fun as those Warriors teams were, I think to a large degree, he ruined basketball with the three-point shooting.
Cons?
Hard to me for me to go up against a passionate basketball fan like Declan, but I'll take it as more of a casual approach. A casual fan like me watching basketball. I'm not a diehard. I mean, I love it. I love the Splash Bros. I love what they did to the NBA. He and Klay Thompson going out there.
But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about what the game's become, right? Like we've seen, like how many Charlotte Hornets games did we watch this year where they would brick 43s and it was unwatchable?
I mean, that's just kind of the evolution of things, right? You're gonna, copycat league. Someone does this, you want to be like that guy. Heck, when I was watching Vince Carter, what did I do? I lowered the rim. I was throwing down dunks because I wanted to be like Vince Carter. 6'2" Steph Curry. I kind of like what he's done. He's given the smaller guy a way into the NBA. I give credit to Kerr, and I feel like I'm just going away from just Steph because I think it's kind of all that they've done, the success that they've had. I think they kind of revolutionized the game, and I'm really interested to see, like in the next 5 to 10 years, when you got these smaller guys who all of a sudden, okay, I can't be a big man in the NBA, but maybe I can shoot, and maybe that goes away from the fundamentals, Declan, that you love so much about the NBA. But for me, I kind of like it. I like the shooting. I like, the Dame Lillard pulling up from just inside half occasionally and hitting those shots. I mean, Steph did what he's really good at. He did what he worked with, and Coach Kerr found a way to utilize his skill sets. So I don't know if I'd say ruin, but maybe revolutionize, impacted it a little bit that way, where everyone now is starting to shoot, even the big guys.
Well, they changed the game and the strategy a bit, no question. But The difference is Steph made it at a very high clip. Now you got teams who just shoot threes and they're not very good at it. So they try to do copycats, but you can't copycat the best shooter and just be like, well, we'll do what he does. Well, no, you won't. Like, you'll do it, but you won't do it to the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we're seeing. I think like anything in basketball, there was a while there where it sucked. All they would do is just feed the ball inside, and the big guy would back in. Oh, now I got a layup. Like, it was, there's always going to be ebbs and flows to the game. I do think we've probably, gone too far on shooting from 3-pointer. But you look at a guy like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, right? Mid-range jumper. People are like, oh, you can't win that way. He's like, well, I think you can.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it, right? And they won it. So it's always changing. I think what Steph did was, and not just Steph, he had a coach who actually allowed him to do it, because a lot of other coaches wouldn't have done it. So I give Steve Kerr, to his credit, admitted like, yeah, you know what? This is unorthodox. It's something different. And we all like change. Now I think it's gone too far, but I think we're slowly seeing a little bit of a reduction in all the constant shooting. It's never going to go back to the game, nor should it, because now you're just going to try to find a way. The next will be, okay, how can we implement Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Steph Curry into our offense? Because they're two very different players in how they attack.
But my thing, maybe I didn't hammer home this point enough, because what's happening in the NBA, I get it's a cop. My thing is more with the development of young kids. Like, you have 6 and 8 year olds who aren't learning how to shoot a mid-range shot like SGA, and hopefully we do kind of get that back.
Yeah, that's just dumb coaching then at the lower level.
But my thing is like the mathematics behind it support it. So I understand why coaches want to do it. Like I said, you got to shoot 33% from 3 to have the same amount of points as 50% from 2. But like, these young kids it just messes up their development from such a young age, because it's what they're forced to work on, essentially.
Well, I would agree with that, but that'd be like me saying, you know what? I've coached young hockey players. I don't coach them to do what McDavid does. That'd be asinine. Because first of all, they're kids. So any minor basketball coach who is allowing that, he's the problem, not Steph Curry. It's the adults who somehow think that kids need to do what professionals do at a young age. It is asinine to even remotely think as a coach or an association that, yeah, we should have our kids do this. That's terrible. Cons?
I'll go with a more current events type topic here. And I'm just, we've had Detroit Red Wings guests on the last couple of days here, Gregor. And I'm just looking at this Detroit Red Wings job, and, how enticing would it be to become the general manager of this team? I don't think I would be as eager for this job compared to other jobs. And if I'm a young GM, someone who's on the rise here, for me, I might be sitting, saying, I'll sit back and I'll hold off. I'll be a little bit more patient and stay in a good situation that I'm already in, because, I'll just use another example. Ben Johnson with the Detroit Lions, when he was the OC, like I said, I'll stick around another year. I don't need to rush going to a bad situation where in 3 years, I'm going to be fired by the next NFL team. I think that's the situation for this Detroit Red Wings team. Like, you look at that division and who they have to go up against. It's going to be extremely tough to get into the playoffs when you have the Buffalo Sabres, Tampa Bay Lightning, Montreal Canadiens. You've got the Sens, who were a playoff team. The Leafs are going to be better. The Florida Panthers, I assume, are going to bounce back. To me, this is a job where you go there and you're probably back on the unemployment line within 4 years. Like, I just don't see how you turn things around with this team. And I know they've been close. I just think they're going to continue to fall off. You're losing your captain in all likelihood. Maybe that changes. And I still wonder about the balance of power when you get there and you still have Steve Yzerman in that building. So for me, if I was a GM, I'm on that cusp, I'm getting interviewed, this would be a job that I might consider saying no to. I know it's one of 32. It'd be really enticing, but I think I might be looking for a better landing spot than taking the first opportunity I get.
Yeah, my thing is like 32 jobs, being an NHL GM, kind of a badge of honor. Are there better situations out there that I would like than Detroit? Absolutely. Am I turning that away if I have a chance to become an NHL GM? No, like I look at it as I'm going to go there and I'm going to take, this bottom of the barrel job and show what I can do with it. And, just parlay that into obviously a resume experience down the line, better, whatever it may be. So like, I definitely get where you're coming from. And of course, yes, there are better jobs out there, but I'll always go back to this, whether it be any of the 4 major sports leagues, head coach, GM, one of 32. And I just think you revel in that. And that's why you take the opportunity.
I think it just comes down to sheer numbers and opportunity. But I do think there are some jobs that give you a better chance longer term. And Detroit now, like I know when Yzerman inherited Holland's team, everyone's like, oh, Holland left them a mess. They're going to have to clean it up. Sure, that is valid. But Steve Yzerman's had 7 years. And while he cleaned up some stuff, he created a lot of his own problems. Their professional scouting evaluation of their own defensemen and who they let walk over the guys they brought in has been atrocious in the last 5 years. Drafting young D-men, good. Their minor draft, like look at their D-men from Sider to Edmondson, right? Those top 2 would be at the top of the list. But even if you look elsewhere, they've been able to replenish their blue line with good draft picks, right? Sandine Pellikka is the other one, right? So that's 3 pretty good picks. The problem is, imagine if they had them and they would have kept Veronik and they would have kept Jake Wellman. Where would they be?
Yeah.
Right? They probably would have been a playoff team with those 2 alongside those other 3. So whoever inherits this job, he's got a tough job. He's coming in and he's like, well, my captain has asked for a trade. Can I mend that fence? Can I somehow repair that relationship? So that's number 1. Then it's like, well, now, you know what? The young guy is going to get a contract, whether or not, somebody offers sheet some Edmondson or not. I think they match it. But like anything, you don't want to grossly overpay a guy. And, Mo Sider's got 8.5 and he's a clearly better player. Right now, he signed his deal a few years ago. I get it. And the cap has gone up, so he could be more. But I don't think you want Edmondson coming in at $12 million. At least I wouldn't. So you're going to have a GM who has the experience on how to negotiate that deal. And then what's he going to do with Patrick Kane? What's he going to do with Alex DeBrincat? Can he convince Kane to come back? Can he sign DeBrincat to an extension? If he does, what's he signing him for? Because that's the challenge on DeBrincat is I don't know like how good he can be when the games are on the line. Right now, he's had 1 playoff appearance in his life, and 4 of those games were in the bubble. Well, none of them were with fans, and 4 of them were in that play-in round where the Hawks shouldn't even be in the playoffs technically, but they got in. They beat the Oilers. And DeBrincat did have 2 goals, 6 points in 9 games. Not bad first time through, but he hasn't been in the playoffs since. So you don't really know what you're going to get from him, but he's a damn good scorer. Like look at his last 6 years in the NHL. 32 goals in 52 games, 41 and 82, 27, 39, 41. Points, he was over a point a game in 21 with 56 and 52. Then he had 78 and 82, 66 and 82, 67 and 82, 70 and 82, 85 and 82. So it's been over a point a game twice in his career. He's going to get a good raise. Pretty significant raise, right? But he'll be 29 when his new deal kicks in. Is he getting a 7-year deal? Now, maybe he'll try to get an 8-year deal because he's still eligible for one until September 15th. So you got a lot of big decisions to be made. But even though it's a tough spot, Cons, I have to agree with Declan. You get an opportunity to be an NHL GM. Even if you think that it's a tough spot, you take it because you believe enough in yourself that you can get it on the right path.
Totally fair. I mean, and I've said that in the past with a lot of things like coaching jobs, especially. But I don't know if I was that good to get a job this year, assuming things don't fall off the rails, and the next year I have maybe a better opportunity. I think I might say sometimes the grass isn't always greener, and you wait. But I get what you guys are saying. Same with a lot of positions in sports. You get that opportunity, you've got to have that confidence, be the alpha male, and think that you can turn it around.
Yeah, like But you can't just believe it. You have to have an outline plan. And I think at times you have to be realistic on how you want to go about it. Right? That to me is that's the challenge. Is how can Detroit's new GM bring their team back to playoff contention? Because they've been respectful the last few years. Respectable, excuse me. They've been right there. They just can't finish it off. But how can they get to a playoff team? And Conj, you brought up a great point. In that division, doesn't look great, but it's an original six team. You got an ownership that's always spent money. So there's lots of arrows. Even though there's some arrows pointing down, there's still some arrows pointing up. But you got to come in with a good plan. I'll be very curious kind of how the interview process goes. Now, speaking of a good plan, if they had to play Alberta today, I would put money down right away that the Oilers are going to start the season 2-0. I think they couldn't have asked for a better first 2 games of the year than against the Vancouver Canucks. Honestly, the Canucks, I don't think they're that good. So we'll talk a little bit about the Canucks. The roster they have today, how different is that roster going to be on September 29th? Because that's when the Edmonton Oilers and Canucks will begin the season. That's right, September regular season hockey for the first time ever for the Edmonton Oilers. They've never played a regular season game in September, but they will. Is Elias Pettersson still going to be there? We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience, All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Hey, Alberta. You can now get your health number and Canadian citizenship marker on your driver's license and ID card. No more flimsy paper health cards or multiple IDs to juggle. Just one card, that's it. To get yours, bring your Alberta health card, proof of Canadian citizenship, or other eligible documentation to the registry to renew your card. Learn more at alberta.ca/onecard. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oh, a little swollen members. Woo! Been a while since we heard one of those tunes. I love it. Welcome back. Wednesday afternoon, the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where your one-stop shop, casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instants, all in one place. Stay within your limits at PlayAlberta.ca. The NHL home opener schedule was released today. The remaining schedule will come out tomorrow. And once again, Edmonton and Vancouver, it's become a habit pretty much in the last 5 years that those two teams open up against one another. Did it 3 years in a row, and now they'll get back at it. On September 29th, Tuesday, in Edmonton, they will open up against the Vancouver Canucks. And to discuss the Canucks and more, we are joined by Harman Dayal from the Athletic, Canucks beat writer. And Harman, I look at Vancouver, and obviously they're like in a retooling mode. They're in a rebuilding mode as far as the organization. Lots of changes from management to coaching staff, etc. When you look at their roster today, how different do you think it's going to look on September 29? Do you see any other significant moves happening between now and then?
I expect them to still explore the market to see if there's a way for them to offload perhaps one more veteran. I think Jake DeBrusk would maybe be the most likely one. He sounds like a player who, like, you got to think about the context of when Jake DeBrusk signed here, right? It was the summer of 2024. It was after the Canucks had just won the Pacific Division. The idea was he'd be coming to Vancouver to play with Elias Pettersson, who was coming off an 89-point season. And the allure was you're going to a winning organization and you're going to play with a centerman that can put up 90 to 100 points. And both those factors have pretty quickly changed, where Canucks are 32nd place. Elias Pettersson isn't what he is. So I think from the player's perspective, does he want to stick around for a rebuild that's going to take a really long time? And from the Canucks perspective as well, they're in the process of even going back to the trade deadline. When you think about, offloading Connor Garland and Tyler Myers and more recently Marcus Pettersson, just offloading some of their veterans, acquiring more draft picks, and putting themselves in a position where they rebuild this the right way. So I am still waiting to see if they can move a Jake DeBrusk. But outside of that, I don't think that there are going to be too many spicy moves for Vancouver.
Okay. If I had to give you an over-under and I say 50, actually, no, I'll go 47.5. Over or under games for Thatcher Demko?
Under. Very comfortably under. I say this, like, it gives me no joy in taking the under on that. Like, I've covered Thatcher for most of his career at this point. The talent that he has when he's healthy is like, he's a top 5 goaltender at the peak of his powers when he's healthy, right? Think about that 23-24 season, what he meant to the Canucks. Second place in Vezina Trophy voting. And the issue is since then he hasn't been able to stay healthy. And the reason I'm taking the under isn't just because, he's missed a bunch of games over the last couple of years. It's been the constant stop and start where at this point the question isn't even can Thatcher stay healthy for a full season. It's not even can Thatcher stay healthy for half a season. It's can he stay healthy for a month? While playing the workload of not even a workhorse number one goaltender, but like a 1A. And this is where, like, he's been hurt 6 or 7 separate times over the last couple of years or so. Some of the injuries less serious than others, but durability certainly isn't something that improves with age. I know that he and the organization are hopeful that he'll be back and healthy at training camp, and the surgery that he had on his hip, they're hoping that it's going to put some things behind him. But I put it this way, even if Thatcher was healthy, I don't think, and I just can't see a scenario where you could responsibly play him 48 games. Like even if he were healthy, I don't think he can play more than 40 to 25.
Wow. His body's just that broken down.
Yeah, like it really is that bad. And it's been like, I really feel for him because like you see how hard he works to rehab, to make his way back. And then what happens is he'll look great for a stretch of, 6 games, and then he's hurt again. And again, that's the issue. Is it's not as if it's been one long-term injury and then like it's just this one injury he's dealt with. It's been a number of things right now. And you go back to the original popliteus injury that he suffered in 2024, right ahead of the playoffs. Like Thatcher himself has said, there's no documented history of a hockey goaltender ever suffering that injury before.
Yeah.
Like we're in completely uncharted waters as far as Demko's injury history. It's literally unprecedented. So with him, it's more even a question of like you hope that he can just play games beyond this season period. Like you're at the point now, especially he's going to be turning 31 years old in December, where you start to wonder about 1 or 2 more serious injuries, and is his entire career in jeopardy?
Yeah. Oh no, I think it's fair. And so they got questions there. I look at the back end, and you know what? They brought in Alexiak, they brought in Luke Shen, Elias Pettersson, the defenseman. They're high on. You got Hronik, Zebuyum. So those are probably their top 5. I think you can safely say. Who do you see as their 6-7? Mancini, Willander, are those the 2 obvious ones, or is there someone else you think can slide in there?
Yeah, I think Willander will play every day. He established himself as an everyday defenseman for them, and I expect actually for him to get top 4 usage at times if he's ready for it. He's obviously an 11th overall pick. They have a lot invested in him, and I think he's raw, but with his skating ability, he's shown some high-end flashes. He chipped in with some secondary offense, right? 21 points in 70 games is pretty respectable for a 21-year-old rookie defenseman. Was already playing 17 minutes a night last year, so he's a player that not only like he's more than a 6 for them, and if anything, I think he's second right shot defenseman on their depth chart behind Filip Hronik. So. I think when you're looking at that right side, it's Hronik, it's Willander, it's Shen, and then on that left side, it's Buyum, Alexiak, and then Elias Pettersson, the defenseman. And yeah, you're looking at somebody like a Victor Mancini to be your 7.
Okay, up front, the Sedins come in, and I would assume lots of young Swedish players. Those were guys they looked up to. Elias Pettersson. It's been a pretty significant fall from when he was a 100-point player, basically cut in half, down to 52 points. Where do you come out on him, Armin? As far as, what can he do? Can they salvage this? Is it just, hey, let's try to get him back to being a good player and then we trade him? What do you think happens with him?
Yeah, I think with Pettersson, you're at a point where with the way the cap is going up, if you're Vancouver, you're looking at the situation and going, there's almost no way in which his trade value could get lower. And I've talked to other executives around the league as well about like, hey, how would you handle the situation? And like when you see a guy like Colton Sissons, for example, in free agency, a centerman who had 11 points this past season, getting $4.25 million, a 4th line center, that type of money, you look at it and go, yeah, $11.6 million. Obviously, it's a lot for Pettersson. He's overpaid, but the odds of teams viewing that as an anchor contract, I think, go down the more that the cap keeps going up, the more the price for centermen keep inflating. And so for as much as, Pettersson's performance has fallen off a cliff, no doubt, the reality is that he's still a very good second line center. Does that make him worth 11.6? Obviously not. But we're not talking about a player that is completely useless. Like, this is a guy that can still give you 50 points, high end defensively. And I think other teams would look at his situation and go, hey, in Vancouver, his most common line mate this past year was Evander Kane. And Evander Kane, he had a good run in Edmonton for a while. I can tell you this, but Evander Kane this past season was just a step behind all year. It was like, I'll use Pettersson in that situation at basically nobody adequate to play with in terms of top 6 caliber wingers. And so I imagine other teams would look at him and go, can we bring him in, surround him with more talent, don't have the pressure of he needs to be a number 1 center, and get him back to being, let's say, a 70-point center. Now, this offseason, the way that I imagine any team having interest in Pettersson would be, hey, if we're trading for him, we're not giving you much assets-wise. And that's totally fair. And from the Canucks standpoint, the debate then is, do you try and just offload the contract for the sake of getting off the deal? Or do you try and, with a new head coach coming in with Manny Malhotra, hope that you can get him to bounce back a little bit, and 2 or 3 years from now, maybe that contract doesn't look as bad. And then when there's only 3 years left on his deal, maybe at that point you can then even look at retaining some salary, and then Pettersson all of a sudden becomes a way more valuable asset. And I think, to me, from a pure hockey value standpoint and maximizing Pettersson as an asset, I think the latter makes more sense. I just don't think the Canucks are going to get much for him on the trade market right now. And I think when you're rebuilding, they're like the damage of having Pettersson's $11.6 million on the books isn't that bad, because even if the Canucks magically gained $11 million in cap space tomorrow, what are they going to spend it on? They're not going anywhere anytime soon. So I think if you're the Canucks, you're hopeful that he can bounce back on Manny Malhotra, and at some point down the road, whether it's next offseason, 2 years from now, or hell, even 3 years from now, that you've put yourself in a position where you can monetize him as an asset a little bit better.
You mentioned Evander Kane, Harmon. I'd heard he played his 1000th game, and then the Canucks were kind of like, okay, stay away. Is that 100% true? And do you think any team gives him a contract this year?
There was a lot of strange stuff that kind of happened toward the end of the year. Like, he didn't even come for exit interviews at the end of the season. He was playing through a knock in terms of his injury. So what I imagine happened was he was playing through an injury, hoping to just get to the 1,000-game milestone, and then player and the team probably understood that we're both probably moving on at the end of the season. Evander, why don't you rest up? And we're at a point in the season where we wouldn't mind playing some young guys anyway, especially because his performance wasn't up to par.
Yeah.
I think for Evander, I was mildly surprised that no team bet on him at the deadline, even though he was having a really difficult season, just because, like, I go back to that playoff run in 2025, and yeah, there were moments in the Cup final where he took too many penalties and whatnot, but there was still a useful middle six player there, and especially when you think about playoff hockey, the physicality, the intensity, and what Evander Kane can bring in terms of that edge and that X factor and secondary scoring ability. I thought somebody would want in on him, even for like a 4th or 5th round pick at 50% retained, but didn't sound like there was any interest there. So the way I'm looking at it, if no team was interested in Evander at the deadline, and we're sitting here on July 15th and he hasn't signed a contract yet, I wonder if he's at the point where he's maybe going to have to look to PTO in September even, and look to earn his way onto an NHL team that way.
Yeah, well, I'm probably with you on that one, and we'll see where he comes out. It'd be fascinating to see what he does. So Oilers Canucks open up the season. Honestly, for Edmonton, I think that's like the best start for them. They got a new coach. They're facing a team that's clearly in a rebuild mode. And hey, the Canucks will come out and play hard, but Edmonton, who's looking for a good start, probably is happy that they're facing Vancouver early in the year. Harman, thanks for your time, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
That's Harman Dale from the Athletic in Vancouver, and really good assessment on the Canucks. I love what he said, very honestly, about Demko. Hey, man, like, I don't think you can play more than 45 games, even if he's healthy, because he can't stay healthy. And if you try to play him too much, eventually that'll lead to more injuries. So you'll get Demko and Kevin Lankinen, and it should be 50-50. And maybe even Lankinen starts a few more games. You know, you want to get Demko in, but they probably need to have a year where he just plays half the games, maybe only 35 games, but he stays healthy and allows his body more time to remain healthy. That might be the only way to ever see Demko back as a regular starting goalie in the NHL. We'll come back with 5 questions on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
We continue on Wednesday afternoon. Just a reminder for all of you as you get set to make your way home. The Yellowhead between St. Albert Trail and 97th Street is still closed both ways. So avoid it. I know many of you, that's obviously one of the routes you take home. You're going to have to find a different way to go home. From the flood last night, if you saw it, it had flooded, and they're still repairing the damage. So as you make your way home, Yellowhead east and westbound between 97th Street and St. Albert Trail closed. Not a great thing right now for traffic and rush hour. Let's get to Connor Halley and 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. The final day of their major appliance sale is on now. Get in. Hey, maybe you need to take a detour. Check out The Brick. Huge savings on all appliances across the store, but only till tonight. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1, a random Oilers question for you. As I scroll through daily face-off looking at the Oilers lines, they've got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the third line with Jason Dickinson, Kasperi Kapanen, Isaac Howard, first line left wing. So I want to ask you, where do you think Nuge plays the majority of next season, and what do you think the point production looks like?
That's a really good question. I think Nugent Hopkins is going to play 20% of his time on McDavid's wing. I'll say 40%. I mean, maybe 50% on the third line, and then the other 30% is the second line center when they play Draisaitl with McDavid.
How about point production? What are you thinking?
He'll probably come in around 48 to 52 points.
Yeah, I mean, 72 games last season, 56 points. I have him around the same area for point production, maybe 15, 17 goals. The other part I'm not quite as sure about. I mean, I'm curious to see how he's used with Mike Babcock and where he gets put. I think if there gets to a point where you need a security blanket and someone who you can throw up there on that top line, I think he'll be very comfortable, obviously, playing with McDavid. So I'll have it a little bit higher, maybe like 30, maybe 35. And then the most of the time, probably on the third line, like you said, when Draisaitl gets pushed up, you slide him into second line center. Question number 2 for you. When you look at this, what happened with Steve Yzerman in Detroit, outside of 1 year, points-wise, they did improve each season, but didn't get back into the playoffs. For you, does this change the outcome, the legacy of Yzerman in Detroit?
No. Hey, what you do as a player, nothing you do as a manager changes that. He was a dynamite player. He was an elite player. He's a Hall of Fame player. Just hasn't been a Hall of Fame manager. So 2 very different roles.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I'm always going to remember Yzerman as the player, winning the Stanley Cups, what he did away from the organization, just on the international level. Like, those are always the things I remember. So for me, always a great player. Did well in management with the Lightning. Wasn't obviously perfect, but yeah, it doesn't do too much for me to take away from that. Question number 3 for you. Who are you liking this Sunday? World Cup final, Spain and Argentina.
Go ahead.
Well, I'd like to see a little bit of a change. I think there's pretty good storylines going each way here. And as we were discussing, even the third place game for the Golden Boot, there's a little bit in on that one. I'm going to lean towards Spain. And, they've shown that they can play that suffocating defense. And Argentina, throughout these games, we've seen them. They've had to battle back into games. So I feel like if Spain, can score a couple goals here, get that early lead, I feel like they have the team defense to prevent Argentina to get back into it, although they will push like nobody's business.
Well, I want offense. Spain hasn't scored very much. They haven't given up anything. It's great. And plus, nobody has gone back-to-back at the World Cup since Brazil in 58 and 62. Italy also did it in 34 and 38. So long, long time ago. So I will say Argentina becomes the first team to go back to back in, what would that be? 64 years.
Question number 4 for you. Open gets going tomorrow. Give me your pick and then a long shot for fun as well.
Wow. Not only going with although Scheffler hasn't won yet this year, major, but I'm gonna go. No, I'll go Rory, and my long shot, I guess, a little bit is Tommy Fleetwood to win his first ever.
I'm gonna go Oberg as my pick. It's kind of a long shot in himself, but Oberg is my pick, and then Joaquin Neiman is my long shot.
Oh, jeez, going really deep.
Check it out at Play Alberta. Maybe get a payday if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Final question for you. Today is National Hot Dog Day. So I think we've talked about this, like, what's the best nap situation? I'm going to ask you, what is the best hot dog situation? Second part is, what's going on yours? And is there anything weird you like to throw on a hot dog?
Best hot dog situation? I'd probably have to still say, around a campfire, right? You got the stick, you barbecuing a few dogs, you got the table set. I like camping, so I will say camping in a hot dog is a classic. And anything weird? No. I am ketchup, mustard. I like hot dog relish, but that's about it. Like no sauerkraut, no onions, gross. No, nothing fancy on the hot dog for me.
Yeah, man, camping hot dog is great. I'm going to go with the golf course,
At the turn?
Yeah, at the turn.
Yeah.
Heck, if I could get more, I probably would. Something about those golf course hot dogs are just unbelievable. I will throw a little onion on it, just a couple for me with ketchup. And anything weird? No, I'm like you. I don't get too crazy with it. I've seen people do cheese. That's not for me. The chili dog is a staple, but no, I'm going pretty basic for me with it. I had a friend who would eat them raw, like uncooked, camping. Just eat them right out of the bag. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yikes. That is that's not good.
Yeah, it was something, a sight to be seen.
Yeah, not great at all. Coming up, Mark Spector will join us. We got Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning. And also, if you missed it, a good conversation we had with Cody Fajardo, we'll replay that as well in the final hour of the show. We got a lot of text finding 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, I'll say Costco hot dog after shopping. You know what? I'd never had a Costco hot dog up until about 5 years ago. And I will admit, it was a game changer. And I love the fact that it's still only $1.50. And that includes, you get $1.50 for a dog and a drink. If you want, I don't drink pop much, so just that water. But still, it is. And Cons, you had a Costco hot dog, eh?
Oh, absolutely.
But they're good, man.
Yeah.
They are, they're really good.
Like, I hadn't had one in a long time. And then when they gave me the hot dog and the cup for the drink, I was like, what? Do you get both of these for $1.50? You can't beat it.
No, you can't beat it. So Costco, now, you don't go there very often, so that probably is what makes it special, I would think. Now, some people, maybe if you got a lot of kids, you're going to Costco every week. That is a tough one for sure.
Have you had any of the other food items there?
At Costco?
Yeah.
I think I had a soft cone once.
Oh, yeah. The ice cream's really good. Yeah. Cookies can be good as well.
Hey, Greg's, my 5-year-old is wondering why her papa is talking on the radio. The raspy voice has her confused. Gus in the hood. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, it doesn't even make any sense. I'm not sick. It literally just started today like noon for no reason. I didn't tie one on last night. I was very responsible. I was actually like home. I think I left at like 10:15. It wasn't even a late night for me, but I don't know what's going on. It's kind of a weird thing, but there will be some cayenne gargling tonight. I can tell you that. Hey, boys, the chicken tenders, fries, and gravy, also very good.
It's true.
Hey, boys, golf course smokies better. Well, I tend to agree on the golf course. I actually prefer the smoky, or I just like a turkey sandwich or a roast beef sandwich. I love that. So it's awesome. But I kind of lean towards the smokies more, I think, for sure. We'll come back. Mark Spector will join us next after a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Employee pricing this month only. You pay what they pay. No negotiating. Great deals. Check it out. NorthgateGM.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Earlier today at the World Cup, Argentina knocked off England 2-1 in their semifinal matchup. With that, Argentina now advancing to the final on Sunday in New Jersey, taking on Spain. Third place game goes Saturday in Miami, England, and France. Earlier today, it was announced the Oilers will kick off their season at home on September 29th against the Vancouver Canucks. Then they'll head to Vancouver for Game 2, the 1st of October. The rest of the schedule coming out tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. The Detroit Red Wings announcing today that Steve Yzerman is moving on from his role as GM and will instead move to a role as a senior advisor to the governor and CEO, Chris Ilitch. The team said that the search for a new GM will have both internal and external candidates. And the Winnipeg Jets and restricted free agent forward Cole Perfetti agreeing to a new contract, 5 years, $30 million. Perfetti, 24 years old, had 12 goals and 32 points in 68 games with the Jets last season. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
Hi, Edmonton. With summer adventures calling, there's no better way to answer than from behind the wheel of your Subaru WRX. The WRX delivers turbocharged performance, confidence-inspiring Subaru all-wheel drive, and the kind of driving excitement that makes you look for excuses to hit the road. Summer won't last forever, but the memories will. So make sure you give yourself something to remember. Visit your local Subaru dealer today and test drive the WRX yourself. Welcome to Uncommon.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Talk to your co-op grow team today.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Big jobs, tight spaces, serious reliability. Emerald Equipment is now your local Yanmar dealer. Compact track loaders, mini excavators, wheel loaders, tough, reliable machines built for any job. JapaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.502, welcome back. Wednesday afternoon. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Be sure to say hi to Deck over at our YouTube page. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, make his day. It's a very simple thing. Costs you nothing, literally nothing to hit the subscribe button. Very much appreciated. Just one day. He watches it. He sees the number every time. It's great. So check it out. It's a Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, the OG of lotteries, Lotto 649, up for grabs. $30 million. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. And then you can stop in. We got a little Open Championship winners. We got a hometown hero, first-time winner. And one of the faves. So you can check that out. A little CFL action, as well as the CFL plays Friday, 2 games Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. The Elks and the Lions. Friday night football will kick things off for us. Now, let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist. They are hired. Operator, top men, pipe layer, and more. Go to gsconstruction.ca. Look up careers. It's Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, I am good. Sound way. I'm way better than I sound. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like
what's going on there?
No reason. I know. It just kind of came out at noon. So I'll gargle tonight with the old cayenne. That'll solve the problem, whatever it is. Steve Yzerman is out as GM, and they've got some assistant GMs who have been there a long time, but some would argue, well, why would you have somebody there who's part of the problem? There's a guy like, would Brendan Shanahan want that job? Do you see any other
that out there
that you think could land in Detroit? And how quickly, considering the Larkin situation, the Edmondson situation, the DeBrincat situation, how quickly do you think they get this sorted out before the end of the month?
Well, you better hurry. I mean, they're announcing the full schedule tomorrow.
Yep.
There's a ton of transition because now you hire a GM. Okay, who does he come with? Does he come with an assistant GM? Does he bring in a different amateur scout? The amateur scouts have to figure out and then let's say you bring in a new head amateur scout. Well, he's going to probably bring in some scouts of his own that he likes maybe. And we're already at a point where guys are all getting hired up around hockey. Like the hiring season in hockey we're well into it. A lot of people who were looking for work have it already. So time is of the essence in Detroit. This is a late firing of a GM, and it's going to make for the first year for this new guy, whoever he is, it's going to be a tough year because he's not going to have his pick of all the people he may have wanted to have his pick from.
Yeah. Well, like the thing that I'm really perplexed by is why now? Why not June 15th? Right? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to like what's changed. You let him run your free agency and now it's like, oh, you know what is geez, we can't get a deal with Larkin. Okay, well now we're gonna change the GM. Like it's very odd timing to me.
Well, there's a reason why, like in the NFL, they have a name for the day, Black Monday or whatever it is, that right after the 16th game of the season, a bunch of head coaches get fired or GMs or whatever. That's because it maximizes your time frame for the hiring process and gives you the best chance to find the right people. And the guy who you do hire has the most runway to succeed next season in his first year. And the Red Wings have already botched that up. Like their guy's not going to have the most runway. He's not going to have the open field of hiring people. He's behind the 8 ball before we start here. And you're going to look at him and go, hey, turn this thing around. Well, great. Why don't you give me the job a month and a half and go ahead and have a shot at it? Right? What are we doing with Larkin? Now what? How are we dealing with that guy?
Yeah. Wow. It was interesting. Ansar Khan was on telling us that there's like a Larkin and Yzerman don't see eye to eye. And I don't know if this is a way to salvage it. I have no idea if that's going to just because you get a new GM doesn't mean your roster's better and you can make the playoffs. Right?
No.
Like that doesn't guarantee that at all. So I'll see, to me, it's an interesting dynamic of what's going to go on in Detroit. You mentioned the schedule. The Oilers every team around the NHL announced their home openers. And we know that Edmonton and Vancouver, like Calgary and Seattle, are the only teams that will open up for each other. Seattle's in Calgary, Vancouver's in Edmonton, and then 2 days later, they're at the other place. The Oilers spec could not have asked for a better first 2 games of the season than play the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, like home openers are a little different. Even crappy teams, sometimes it's an emotional night and they have a big night and, they play outside of their abilities for one night in a row. But yes, Jason, for an Oilers team whose absolute mandate this year is to have a really strong regular season. Like this is the year I know last year you thought they'd win the Pacific. I think I probably agreed with you. Years in the past, there were years where I thought, okay, this is the year the Oilers are going to win the Pacific. I'll tell you what, this is the year that the Oilers will win the Pacific. This is the year that they are absolutely 100% serious about a regular season that truly means something to them, right? Truly means something to them. And if I'm Vancouver, I don't love the fact that I get that particular opponent for the first 2 games of the year. Edmonton's start, they're not going to be, they'll be very, very businesslike here off the top of this season. And Vancouver's in the way, frankly. And, they may grab a point or 2. I'm not saying they can't, but I would rather not play this Oilers team right off the top, whoever I am.
Yeah, well, and, I said it before Knobloch was fired. I thought the Oilers were going to have a better season. They're going to have a good start to the year for a variety of reasons. Team was embarrassed. Team's going to be healthy. Now you throw in the want to impress the new coach with this group has done under Tippett, under Woodcroft, under Knobloch. They all got off to very good starts under all 3 of them. I don't expect that to be any different under Mike Babcock, and not so much because of him, the coach, just because of the talent on the team. And when you throw in, we'll have to see the rest of their schedule early on, but there's nothing that's going to kick them out of their arena for an extended period of time. There's no Olympic break this year. There's no Four Nations break this year. It's just going to be an all-star break. So they will have a lot more, there's no reason for them to have any stretch of a real hard schedule other than maybe, you have 6 or 7 games against really tough opponents. But other than your usual 5-game road trips here or there, I don't see any reason for this to be a overly difficult schedule because there's nothing in their arena that's going to kick them out for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's an 84 game season again. We have had these before.
Oh yeah.
Long time ago. But no, for sure, it's as regular a regular season as you could ask for. Like you point out, there's no big breaks in the middle of any extended periods of time. There's no compressed games where sure they're adding 2 games, but they're also starting the season in September for the first time since I can ever remember. I'm sure they did it.
Never. No, the Oilers have never played a regular season game in September.
Is that right? So there you go. So they add 2 games, but they add a week of schedule time, and it's not compressed like last season. So there's going to be some 3-day breaks during the season for this team that you never got last year because of the Olympics. So I feel more that, like, I'm not predicting Edmonton can win the division because I think they're such a great team and they're better than everyone else and all that. I just see a good team that's going to have a focus that we haven't seen them have in the regular season probably in a long time. This is they got this new coach. They got to figure out what he wants and how to do it and how to play his style and all that stuff. They're changing a few things here. There's going to be a real attention to detail and focus, in my opinion. I think the Oilers will be a very focused team. Last year, they were just waiting for it to happen. It never happened. I think the opposite will be true this year. I think this team will be I think they'll have a really strong regular season, Jay. That's what I think.
Spec, England looking like the Maple Leafs of the NHL as they're in control. They haven't won since 66, and now that'll extend at least until 2030. And they were in it. They were right there. They just couldn't. They couldn't cap it off at all. So
I got a buddy here at the lake from 2 doors down. He's a Brit. He's from Sheffield.
Yeah.
And I had him over on the deck to watch the game, and he was crying in his smittix as they got up 1-0, and it's like, all right, we're gonna win. And then I don't think England barely touched the ball the rest of the game. The worst thing they could have done is they scored that goal, and then Argentina just took the game over from them. And apparently, I haven't been listening, but I've been seeing on social media, I guess the British panels are already just roasting the coach.
Yeah.
For a very passive sitting back approach for the rest of that game. I mean, I don't know. Half of it is probably England did sit back too much, but boy, did Argentina take that game over. I mean, they started hitting posts and they started getting chances, and then they started scoring goals. And in the end, they were vastly the better team today than England, were they not?
Well, England, like the first half, nothing really happened. The first half I thought was pretty uneventful. I think there was only 1 shot on goal between the two teams.
Yeah, very little.
And then England scored, and they had a few minutes but then they sat back. Now, how much of that is coaching? How much of that is mental on the players? We'll never really know, right? Because I know, like, I've talked to coaches in hockey. They're like, dude, I'm not telling our guys to sit back here.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys just sit back, and Argentina just kept coming, and Pickford made some unreal saves before they finally scored.
Like, and 2 posts.
Yes. Yeah. But you're right. Argentina, the last 30 minutes, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't even close.
So you're right. Like, I've heard the same coaches say the same thing. You think I'm standing behind the bench telling my guys, hey, we're up 2-0, stop trying. Like, that's not how it works, right? But it is human nature, and particularly in soccer where 1 goal can be enough. Right? 1 second half goal, you can win a game off that. And England, unfortunately for them, they really needed to push. And my British buddy Terry, and he knows the game. I don't barely know the game, and you could see it plain as day. They needed to get back in some confidence and carry a ball, and not just it's like a hockey team that just chucks it out and changes. You can't do that for the rest of the game, and it was very evident. I don't know how the English players didn't figure it out, because it's sure on the other side of the television, you could sure see what was going on. And the goals were inevitable, Jason. Argentina's goals you could hear them coming down the tracks, right?
Oh yeah. No, that is totally fair. 100%. You could do that. Mark Spector joins us. So now we have France and England in a 3rd place game, but then Spain, who's only allowed 1 goal in the tournament,
Wow.
Against Argentina, who scored the most goals in the tournament. So
That's
this is a classic case of defense versus offense in the final. And we'll see who comes out on top. Messi with 2 great touches, especially on the game-winning goal. Just a ridiculous assist by him. He's been unreal in this tournament for Argentina. Overall, I love the fact, today we saw a lot of comebacks. It says Argentina scored at the 85th minute and then 2 minutes into extra time. 2 goals in 7 minutes. But they were looking at it. 10 of their last 12 goals have come after the 79th minute. This is not they might wait a little longer, but they find a way to score late. So I'll say from an entertainment angle, this World Cup has been unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. It's a tournament I don't know if I've been watching this tournament, and again, I repeat, I'm not a big soccer guy, and I don't purport to be. I've been watching this tournament as a huge fan since I can remember in junior high, sitting at home in the summer watching soccer games. It's always been good. There's a reason it's the most popular sporting event in the world, above the Olympics, right? Above the Olympics. How many people would have watched that game today, Jay?
Oh, man. Yeah.
2 billion people? I don't know. How many people in the world would have watched that game today?
Oh, God, that's a really good question.
Millions
for sure.
Million, I think billion. No, I don't know. People will watch that. Here we are sitting in Edmonton watching Argentina play England. They're watching it in Japan. They're watching it in Africa. They're watching it everywhere in the world, that game, man. So, and rewarded, and you don't think all of us who watch that game today and spend a Wednesday afternoon watching football, how could you possibly not watch the game on Sunday?
God.
I'm going to go get a case of Madri, isn't that their Spanish beer, and a couple bottles of Argentinian Malbec, and put them on the deck and watch soccer. And what the hell, man? What else are you going to do on Sunday?
Oh, buddy, be all over it. I can't wait. Everything's on the line, and it's going to be fantastic. Going back, Spec, to the Elks, they've got some unfortunate news. I reported earlier today. Williams is out 10 to 12 weeks. Robustelli re-aggravated something late in practice yesterday, so he's not going to make his debut now on Friday. He'll be out. David Beard has got the calf strain. He's going to miss at least 2 weeks, maybe 3. So which means the BC game and then the next 2 Saskatchewan games. But I'll say this, the Elks, they're 4-1, and now they've lost 2 of their starting offensive linemen. They lost their starting linebacker and their backup linebacker. Now they're on their 3rd string linebacker, and they're playing great. I'll give them a lot of credit, man. And now their D-line, that's the second D-line, and it's out. Not only are they good, their depth has been tested early on, and it's passed with flying colors.
Yeah, so that tells you that management is doing a good job. Management they brought in good players in both the starting and the backup roles, and they're probably Ed Hervey's out there landing guys still, and he's bringing in the right guys. We got a chance to have a nice chat with Hervey last night at On the Rocks. Came to carry us his thing. It was nice to see Ed. I haven't seen him for a while, and you know what? Ed works at it, man. He lives that job. When you're a general manager, a time like this proves how good you are, and if your eye for talent is good, and they're bringing in 2nd and 3rd stringers that can play, that are helping your team win, that tells you that he's got good people working for him, and that Ed Hervey knows a football player when he sees one. So good for Ed, man. It looks like the Elks are in pretty good hands here.
Yeah. Spec, have yourself a good evening. We will chat with you tomorrow.
All right. Hang in there, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Specker, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. We'll come back. Cam Tate, 2-minute warning. We got Cody Fajardo coming up. Also, you want to go to the game? We got a pair of seats. We'll give those away in the next segment on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
Can I get your hand to ride on? Just a piece of leg to ride on. But I'm not to blind my God on. Do you want my fly?
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. Remember, if you're driving home on the Yellowhead, St. Albert Trail, 97th Street, both east and westbound is still closed from the flooding of last night. So fair amount of damage down there, unfortunately. So, that obviously they were working on 127th Street. So all that rain flooded out the underpass under St. Albert Trail. and has impacted the 127. So it's closed both ways. So avoid it. You're not getting through. That'll probably take you a little bit longer if you try there. So maybe 107, 137th. Either way, hope you can get home without too much disruption. Now, do you want to go to the Elks game on Friday night? The weather looks great. Elks and Lions. Elks looking to go 3-0 at home, 5-1 on the season. Meanwhile, BC's trying to win their second straight, both against Edmonton. So should be a great matchup. Very simple today. Text in Go Elks with your name and email. Connor will do a draw. Somebody's going to the game Friday night. Make sure you can go to the game. Okay, we get, oh yeah, I'm in. And then they text back, sorry, I can't make it. No. Make sure you can go. 833-401-1440. Let's get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. Oh, we'll get Tater in a sec. Okay, well, we'll switch up. Let's get to let's go to Cody Fajardo, the quarterback of the Elks, and ask Cody about the opportunity for his team. The only blemish on the record has been against BC. So now they have an opportunity. They bounce back nicely against Ottawa, and now you look to take that and use that experience of that loss to your advantage on Friday. There you go. Cody Fajardo, the quarterback of the Green and Gold. Will return. Cam Tate is ready with the 2-minute warning. Wrap things up on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open. Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity.
Boil
if you
an
find
egg.
a lower
7
advertised price on
minutes.
appliances, The Brick
Steep
will
a
beat
pot
it.
of
Check
herbal
out deals
tea.
for the rest of your home, like
Argentina's
up to 33% off
10
sofas,
alarm.
love seats, sectionals, and
You know what
recliners.
struck me
Some
most
inclusions
about
apply.
today?
See you in store for detail. The Brick, saving you more.
40.
You made it to the festival without stopping in order to catch the first set. But today, you can turn every stop on your to-do list into an unforgettable encore. The Toyota Corolla, fuel efficiency that hits all the right notes. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2026 Corolla L from $75 weekly for 60 months at 5.89% with $3,299 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your Prairie Toyota dealer today.
The big hits. The big kicks. Catch all the action at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in a house with tons of big screens. And Selly's menu. Something for everyone. Plus game day food and drink features. So bring your friends, cheer loud and proud, and join the fun at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Every day is game day at Century Casino.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisqford.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament, Friday, August 28th, 2026 at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drinks, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's Grad and helps graduate shine on graduation day. Early bird pricing ends July 18th, so sign up at nationgear.ca before it sells out.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Getting set to wrap things up on a Wednesday afternoon. You made it through another work week, or another work day, excuse me. Who knows, man? Maybe you're taking the weekend off. Starts on Thursday. Good for you. Summertime. I know many of you got some time off. It's great. Also, Cons. I think Cons picked a winner for the Elks tickets.
Yeah, congrats to Ty.
Ty.
Go to the game on Friday night.
There you go, Ty. Congratulations. I like it. Now, let's get to Tate's 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Here is Cam Tate.
Boiled egg and a cup of... Boil an egg, 7 minutes. Steep a pot of herbal tea, 7 minutes. Send one country into hysteria, another into despair.
7 minutes. Argentina's 10-alarm comeback earlier this afternoon, a 2-1 semifinal thriller against England, was wild and asks endless questions. You know what struck me most about today? Not the loss. Not really. It's what England did to themselves after going up 1-0. Gordon scores, brilliant moment, right? And you think, here we go. They've got it now. But then something curious happened. Something almost psychological. They stopped playing. I don't mean they ran out of energy. I mean, they chose to retreat, to defend, to invite Argentina in. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why would a team 1 goal away from a World Cup final suddenly decide to stop believing they could win? That's the real mystery here. Other goals. Fast goal. Okay. You ready for this? Toni Kroos. Germany-Brazil, 2014. This guy scores twice in 69 seconds. I'm not kidding. 69 seconds. And Germany ends up winning like 7-1. Are you serious right now? But hold on. It gets better. Mbappe, 2022. France-Argentina final. Down 2-0. This kid is not done. Penalty, goal. Next minute, volley. 97 seconds, and he's tied it up. The whole stadium is going crazy. And dude, Belgium-Japan, 2018, down 2-0. And I mean down. But then, boom, Vertonghen. Boom, Fellaini. And then in the 94th minute, another one. 5 minutes, 3 goals. 3 goals. This is what the World Cup is all about, people. You never know. Nobody's out. It's that quick. It's that wild. Boiled egg and a cup of herbal tea. Anyone? 2-minute warning. Sports 14, 40.
It was an unreal ending, man. Well, not if you're English. You're a fan of England. It wasn't great, but it was, to me, it was kind of symbolic of how the tournament's been. We've seen a lot of crazy endings, but maybe my best stat of the tournament. One team has faced both Spain and Argentina in the tournament, and they didn't give up a goal in 90 minutes. Now, they lost later on. Cape Verde. Like, they were able to keep it close, man. They were able to keep it close. And that is, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So, who's going to win on Sunday? I have no idea. But I am going to go with Argentina because I'm on the offense, baby. Let's go offense. I'm always offense. You know that. So it's good.
Gregor, you didn't get a chance to watch it probably as closely as Declan or I did. Also, Tater, you forgot Jude Bellingham, 98 seconds, 2 goals against Mexico. Anyways, how much after the English goal, how much possession do you think they had in the final 37 minutes?
England in the final 37 minutes?
Final 37 minutes, yeah.
Oh, a minute and a half?
They had 12% possession.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what the exact timing of that would be. Yeah, and that almost seems generous because the field was so tilted. It was not good, but man, you just saw the Messi like dominance. Like I would say around like the 70th minute when he had the ball in his foot, there was a little bounce to his step. Like it just looked like he was creating spec through in the 2 posts that there was. But yeah, it could have been 4-1. Like they absolutely took over that game. And we've seen them do that time in, time out in this tournament. At the end of the game, down a goal.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to matter. They just tilt the field and get the job done.
Well, that stat of 10 of their last 12 goals have come after the 79th minute is wild to me, man. It's wild. Like that. Games are never over. You always want to, you don't turn off an Argentina game. Obviously, no one's going to turn off the final, I guess, unless it's like 3 or 4-0. But who knows? But early on, do you like anybody?
I mean, I like the fact that a lot of these players from Argentina have been there before. You know, it's a big stage. I think there is kind of that feeling out process. I'm going to lead towards Spain, though. I just like the style that they play. Like, it's not going to be the most fun, right? They're not going to be, pushing the ball downfield, scoring goals nonstop. But I think they're able to defend, and if they can get that lead, like it's been the game plan for Argentina seemingly. Like, get scared, have your back up against the wall, and then get back into it. I feel like Spain might be able to defend that.
Now, any of you NFL fans, if you're thinking of a stat that you would like to use, if you're maybe a Giants or an Eagles fan, somebody in the same conference or division as the Cowboys, in the last 10 years, Spain has more playoff wins at AT&T Stadium than the Cowboys. Spain's won twice. So that is, if you ever want to, zip your Cowboy fan up, that's a subtle little dig. It's a classic. It's a subtle little dig. I like it. So awesome stuff. Hey guys, it's hard not to feel positive when Fajardo's talking. The guy is so upbeat all the time. I like it. Hey Gregor, where is Fajardo's family from? I don't know. They're out in the United States, and when you're during this season, you're playing all the time. A lot of the families don't come up here just because I don't think people realize, like, some guys, they come home and it's film all the time, and some people come up for longer stretches than others. His family's going to stay here now for, I think, they got here on Monday, I think it was, and staying for at least a week. And usually then they go and they meet families at bye weeks and then other times, but not every player has his family with them throughout the year. So it's just not how it goes. Hey, Gregor, this dude talks fast in the Yellowheads movie. Yeah, Cody's fired up when he talks. It's very true. He is a little bit of a speed talker. There's no doubt about that. So it's good. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Few other things to look at. You're seeing a lot of changes. Like, in the US, Cons, they had that Victory Plus for some teams and covering games. Well, the Ducks, I think, have ended their contract with them, and now there's other ones that are potentially coming. So we'll see. Hey, Greg, do you think it was odd that the Oilers didn't play in Calgary for their final season opener? No, not really. Edmonton's final season opener, if I recall, was St. Louis back at old Rexall Place. I could see if the Flames' final home game is potentially against the Edmonton Oilers, but I'm trying to think, who did the Oilers play in their final game? Cons down at Rexall. I can't remember. Like, I remember the whole ceremony after the game, and there were so many
Canucks.
It was the Canucks.
Yeah, 6-2 win.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. So, Edmonton, I don't know if, like, do you need the Flames there? I think I could see it. Maybe it's probably going to be Edmonton or Vancouver, but like, it's the last game in the building. Heck, the Flames might want Seattle again. They might want to win. All right. Like, do you want your last home game to be a loss in your building? No, now there's no guarantee it'll be a win or a loss. But my point is, you would probably like to give yourself a better chance. And right now, Calgary, on average, isn't as good as Edmonton. So we'll see. But I don't know. Like, look, I don't even remember who they played their last game at Rexall. I think, if my memory is correct, they did play the Flames in the first game at the new stadium, right? In 2016 and 17. I'm pretty sure, Cons, it was the Flames, was it not?
I think you're right there.
Yeah.
Go back and look.
Yeah. Oh, I got it right now. I'm just looking up as we speak. Yeah, it was Calgary, and they won 7-4. So I could see them, being at one of them. They're probably not going to be at the closing and the opening, but I could see it at one of the two. So there you have it. Have yourselves a great Wednesday, everyone. Remember, avoid the Yellowhead. It's closed east and westbound between 97th and St. Albert Trail due to all the flooding last night. Also, terrible news. The Space Science Center has been shut down until August due to significant flooding. So, man, hopefully we're done with the torrential downpours for the immediate future. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament coming up Friday, August 28th. All in support of Gregor Foundation. If you want to go, get your foursome in. Foursomes are going fast. You can go to nationgear.ca and click on experiences, and it's right there. Have yourselves a great night. We're out.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Okay, so you missed it earlier today at the World Cup. Argentina battling back to defeat England 2-1. With that, they'll head to Sunday's final to take on Spain in New Jersey. The third place game goes Saturday, France and England from Miami. Earlier today, the Oilers announcing that they'll kick off their season at home September 29th against the Vancouver Canucks, then head to Vancouver on October 1st for Game 2. The rest of the schedule will be released tomorrow at 11 a.m. The Detroit Red Wings announcing that Steve Yzerman is moving out of his role as GM and now will instead move forward as a senior advisor to Governor and CEO Chris Illich. The team said their search for a new GM will be both internal and external candidates. And the Winnipeg Jets and restricted free agent forward Cole Perfetti have reached a 5-year, $30 million contract extension that avoids arbitration. Perfetti, 24 years old, had 12 goals, 32 points in 68 games last season. In the WNBA tonight, you got the Valkyries and the Fever from Indianapolis. Tip-off 6 o'clock. Earlier today, Sky over the Storm 95-90, and the Lynx dropped the Sparks 96-87. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it is Fox Sports Radio. Live local coverage